I'm gonna use some of that
I think
75.
I think we live.
Coming to
Uh,
you
but you
live.
want all right? You got second place. You let your boy Paladin get that dub. Oh, he just hit my account. Look at me. I'm big money grip. Over here we stacking.
Backing JB.
Guess what? Fantasy season is over. And you are looking at three champions. We all won a fantasy league. I think, right? We did. Hey, nothing
Same with
wrong with that.
and buttons.
And but it's right. We all won a league, at least one. Last year, what? Joey, you won one last year. I know I won the friends and family last
I
year.
did not last year. I was
Last
damn
year, yeah, last year was a down year for you.
definite down
Um,
year.
that's all good, man. You know what I'm saying? We stacking. David is my man. Paladin is up here just racking up league championships. That him keeping Jefferson and Chase finally paid off for him.
It sure did.
Was stacked though. He had Jefferson Chase, but he had neighbors. He
And
also
neighbors.
had Taylor. He had Josh Allen, and Josh
He
Allen didn't do that much the last 2 weeks, but that is
he
what.
loves LSU wideouts.
Yes, he does.
Oh yeah, yeah, he does. He's
That's
loaded with,
that's
Yes,
where
he
you
does.
go. That's where you go to get your wideouts.
and he also had JSN too, didn't he? I
Did
think he
he?
had JS. He also had JSN on his team.
Yeah, he was loaded on
Yeah, guess what, guys? He had four guys on his team that finished in the top 12 of fantasy wideouts.
Wow.
Four.
that tells you there you don't have to win with just running backs.
Have to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway,
Have to deal with.
fantasy. Joey, your team was at the end. Your team. Yes. Oh, I know what killed you. Your man's Chuba.
Out of
You
out
were
of out of
traveling.
nowhere.
Your one fatal flaw. You never have running back depth, and it finally came back and bit you right in your big old behind.
Sure did. It sure
Yeah.
did.
My God, I had Chuba in that league I won,
Yeah.
and remember I told you how they don't have IR spots there. So
Foolishness.
I heard that I swear this is what happened. I'm sitting here at home. I'm like I'm sitting here just kirking out like Chuba ain't gonna play. What's going on?
Like me.
And then that Saturday morning, I listened to the radio and it was like, yeah, J.K. Dobbins. I got a message on my phone too. J.K. Dobbins is going to get reactivated. So I said, let me go to the waiver wire and see if somebody dropped J.K. Dobbins. And lo and behold, he was sitting there. I just scooped him up and started him there in face of Chuba.
Scoop.
Yeah, and he ended up scoring a touchdown. He had a pretty good game because
Yeah,
you were all nervous. What he got 80 yards and a touchdown. He was better than the guys that Joey picked up with the Carolina guys. Those guys didn't do anything.
he picked up Boone. Because Joey
I
only
mean,
had Joey, and I think Joey and David only had two running backs apiece. David just had Taylor, who was going crazy at the end
Oh,
of the
he
year.
needed.
Taylor was RB1, and RB5 in fantasy playoffs.
In the fantasy playoffs, yeah. And I mean, he had more yards. I think he had more yards and touchdowns than he had almost the whole year, just those 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Yes, he did.
he was on fire.
Yeah.
Scoop.
So I know, and yeah, and I was like, dang, Joey lost Chuba.
Yeah, that basically
That was big.
you really had no shot at that point.
That was big.
Your team was already on probably in the underdog, and then you lose. You lose. I don't know if Chuba would have done enough anyway, just to
Yeah,
based on the
maybe
way
not.
he played. They probably wouldn't have done enough anyway.
Yeah,
They just got blown out that game.
sure did.
What I mean, Paladin had. I think he started. I know he had Taylor. I swear he had Neighbors and JSN. JSN didn't have a good game in the championship game.
No, did not.
Neighbors was basic. I think Neighbors at the Colts game.
Neighbors went off. What did I say? He had 48 on the dynasty.
That was the Colts game, right?
Yes.
Okay,
He
so
had like nine
Taylor
catches.
had like 150 and 2, right?
Neighbors had like 9
Chase
catches
was
for.
Chase was being chased, and I think Jefferson had a decent game that week. But hey, you know what? I got the number 2 pick, Joey. Chase and Jefferson are going to be on the board as well as Genty. So, we already voted on trading draft spots in the offseason. I mean, we can swap draft spots because what? I'm keeping Bijan. Bijan's getting kept.
That's your man's. I know you keep.
I'm betting on Bijan for like years.
Yes, you have.
I drafted Bijan with a second pick.
Well, you got to think. You got to think. Genty will go in the top 3. Chase and Jefferson will go in the top 3.
Yeah. If Cole served, Adam may not keep a first round keeper. I mean, if nobody switches with me for that second pick, I'm keeping Bijan. I can't in this league. If it was different league, maybe I'd be like, you know what? I'll drop Bijan and pick up Chase.
Yeah.
But I gotta stick with Bijan when I'm getting a 0.5 per carry and he getting all kind of touches.
There. That's your man's. That's your man's.
But if somebody knows that, they really have to want.
Joey, who did you draft in the first round last year? You draft Gibbs?
He took Gibbs.
I think I did take Gibbs, yes.
Oh. You ain't giving that pick up, so you just stay pat. Well, somebody gonna get those guys with another pick. It is what it is.
Well, see, like for me, I got Lamb, but I'm probably drafting 6 or so. So Lamb is probably going to be going right in that area anyway.
Hey, I was gonna tell you, I wouldn't drop Lamb. He's probably due for a bounce back year. I mean,
well, the thing is that
down year, and he finished wide receiver like 6.
But the thing is that I've got to weigh that because if I keep Chase Brown in like round 10,
and draft him or waiver wire him.
No, I drafted him. Okay. But still, I mean, I'll definitely still get value there.
Oh no, you get massive value because he's at least right now they got him early rankings have him as a second round pick.
Yeah. So the question is that I'll just have to look and count where I'll end up because I'm not sure where I'll draft. If I can still get Lamb and I got Nico Collins in the second round, then I can keep both of those two in the first 2 rounds, and then I'll be, you know what I mean? Like, then I'm all right. Like, yeah, I got to look who I'm going to get. Basically, I just have to see where I'm drafting if Lamb will just fall to me anyway. And then, because Nico Collins probably
falling to you what round? The second round?
No, in the first round. What I'm saying is if I keep Collins, because Collins probably, if I'm drafted in the middle of the second, Collins most likely not falling to me.
I think. What did you finish? Did you win any of the consolation games in that league?
I mean, probably not because I never changed my roster. So probably 5th or 6th.
You didn't finish. Nah, you didn't finish last. That was Makai.
I'm
probably 5th or 6th.
Change Makai's spot up, and Buds. He's such a Buds.
Has he committed yet?
No, they said anything. He's really that caught up. He's really that caught up on Yahoo. I was like, dude, really?
Man,
he will commit. He will commit.
Listen, I ain't making him commit. I got somebody else lined up.
He will commit.
I can't be waiting till the last minute, man.
Well, let me see. So I'll probably draft.
Now, I can tell you, I'm looking at it right now. Hold on. So I did send a message out with the I did send a message out with the draft history.
Yeah.
Sorry, the draft. All right. So it looks like. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. You got the 4th pick.
Yeah, so if you're at second and no one trades up, then I would be able to get Jefferson or Genty or Chase.
I mean, yeah.
So
really.
either way, I'll be able to get Lamb, worst case scenario.
I mean, if
Excuse me.
if nobody, okay, so
Because even if someone trades up at 4, Lamb is still 4. He'll still be there.
yeah, if you want Lamb, but you probably unless let's see.
I'm saying worst case scenario, I could still get Lamb.
Oh no, you. All right, see, because Adam took Amar St. Brown. He may keep him in the first round. He may not. He may drop him and say, you know what? I want Chase or I want Genty.
Yeah.
Right. And then if nobody trades with me, which would be like maybe David. See who David took in the first round. David took Jonathan Taylor. He may want to keep Jonathan Taylor in the first round.
Oh, because he drafts 12th anyway. He should keep Taylor.
He will.
Yep, he would be able to keep Taylor.
He'll keep Taylor and Neighbors.
13th pick, and you can keep Neighbors in the 4th or Allen in the 5th if you wanted it. He'll probably keep. I don't know, but I'm not going to speculate what he's going to do. I mean, he took Jackson Smith-Njigba in the 8th round. The dude was a first round pick, and then he had Uncle Rico grounded out for him.
Yeah, I mean he's loaded, so he's not worried at all.
Yeah. But anyway,
I mean, the thing is that I'm in at least a spot where I can make a decision then, and not so I can keep Collins and Chase Brown.
Oh yeah, you keep Collins and Chase Brown and have what? You still have your first and second round pick, right? Oh,
no,
yeah, your first
Collins
pick.
is in the second, so I'd have my first and my third.
Okay.
I mean, but Collins was on a tear.
You may be able to get Genty with your pick.
That would be ideal for me if I get Genty.
You're gonna have an opportunity to get either Genty, Chase, or Jefferson. They probably will be there.
Yeah,
one of those 3 guys will be there in the top 4 picks because I'm keeping Bijan if I don't switch to anybody.
That's your man's, JB.
I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, he's a beast.
That's your man.
When I say switch, I mean that if I give them that pick, I need to have their second round pick, and they get my second round pick.
Yeah,
I need to get that.
Flopping.
Yeah, because I might keep Jacobs. I don't know yet. Because Jacobs seems to be
Jacobs balled out for them.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, but you never know. He may come back and be broke. But anyway, speaking of broke, it's playoff weekend time. And of course, we're going to talk about what team. That's college playoff and NFL playoff.
You got from tomorrow night till Monday, you got playoff football, right?
Yep, everywhere, like the Hawks used to be.
Just playoff football everywhere.
Shooters everywhere. Now, what game are you guys most excited to see this weekend out of the 6 games we got going on? Joey, let's start with you. Rocking the future home of old boy
Cooper Flag. Kristen JB, Buttons, millions. It's going to be a little different as far as the game that I'm going to pick, but there's a good reason. Because there's a phenomenal player that is playing for this team. His name is Jaden Daniels, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's going to do in a high-intense game, going to Tampa, playing against the team that they lost to in week 1. But I think the Commanders have a legitimate shot of going to the second round and escaping Tampa with a win. He is a phenomenal quarterback. The Giants wanted him, had the opportunity, but won a game too many last year. But we clearly see what he's turned into. I think he is a special player. But then going against a former first round number 1 pick overall who had 41 touchdowns this year. Baker Mayfield had a phenomenal year. So I am really looking forward to seeing the battle of these two quarterbacks. And I have a feeling that the Commanders are going to come out of Central Florida with a dub.
Okay.
Oh,
Now, Baker had 4 touchdowns against them in week 1.
Mm.
So we'll see how
4
that goes.
touchdowns against him, and was it last weekend? What was it? He let someone up because Chris and I were somewhere, and Chris just kept telling me Baker Mayfield just scored, just
that
had
week
another
before,
touchdown.
that week before, so last week,
Was it 6?
no, week before that he had 5 touchdowns.
5
yeah,
touchdowns.
that was a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
I think it was 5 touchdowns. It was against Carolina. He had 5 touchdown passes.
He lit Carolina up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
everybody likes them up though. They get lit up all the time.
lit up. Yes, they do. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how different of a game it's going to be. Maybe, or not.
First game, Daniels had 86 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns against Tampa. So, I mean, it's going to be. Is Tampa going? I mean, and Tampa is hard to stop on the run. All I know is I watched a few of his games. You can't let that guy scramble to the right. It's like he's going to the right, and he just gets there and gets yardage, like against Atlanta that night. But anyway, all right, Chris, what game you looking forward to?
A couple good ones. But I'll go Chargers, Texans. Chargers are they the only road dog?
Favorite, yes.
Home dog.
Favorite.
Yeah. Minnesota also with the Rams. That's another road.
Oh yeah,
that's a close one. But I mean, this year has been we talked about it kind of pre-game that Stroud, the struggles he's had this year, turning the ball over a ton. I mean, Houston still is loaded. They've got playmakers, so I feel like they could win that game. I want to see, with the Chargers are a team with, they've kind of taken the identity of Harbaugh. Herbert has been a decent quarterback this year, but he's also kind of bought into what they want to do. Dobbins, that helps having, because is Gus Edwards out?
I think he's supposed to be out. They did sign Zeke to the practice squad.
Yeah, I saw that. That's probably why.
But the last few weeks they've been letting Justin Herbert
he's aired it out a little bit. Yeah. I mean, I saw Quentin Johnson last week. Quentin Johnson had like 10 catches last week.
100 and some yards. He had a big game. He had that one
McConkey the week before on that Saturday, he went off. He had a huge game.
McConkey finished as wide receiver 13.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that Herbert is still Herbert, and they have a good offensive line. Yeah, I just find it to be an interesting game just because I think, we kind of counted out the Chargers as they drafted they were like the 5th pick this year. And I think everyone kind of expected them to just be an average team, and nobody's really buying into them. The Texans were the team. I think everybody's just waiting for them to just kind of take that step that they did last year, and they've kind of come back. So it's almost reversed and flipped as far as where the two teams were expected to be. But the Texans are still home. They've got playmakers. So to me, it's an interesting game. I mean, with Tank Dell down, I don't know if they have him everywhere, but I mean, I feel like if Stroud can do what we know he can, they can still win that game. I don't think it's an insurmountable game that he cannot go out and win. So to me, it's just one of those. I just like this game. There's a couple of good games, but I do like that there's just a good amount of storylines in this game. And there's, I would like to see Stroud. I like Stroud. I want to see him kind of take that step. So hopefully he, because he's been getting dogged this year. So hopefully he gets, comes back to.
They've been on him. They on him.
I mean, because he goes from probably the greatest
David Carr treatment.
You go from probably the greatest rookie QB season of all time.
Yeah.
And those expectations were, Texans, they were probably ahead of schedule last year, and now they're probably, they may be just kind of where they're supposed to be, actually.
At one point, they had him they had him ranked like inside the top 5 quarterbacks for this season, like quarterbacks
And I
best
mean,
in the
rightfully
NFL.
so. What he did last year was crazy. So you assume, oh man, he just came in. But that's the thing is defensive coordinators start to figure you out.
Get that
And
film on
so
you, boy. Get that film.
yeah,
So I
I mean that's why a lot
I
of times
study
like in baseball, you get guys who are either hitters or pitchers early on, and they'll come in and they'll light it up. And then all of a sudden they start to, like you said, they start to get film, they start to know what your tendencies are. And then, I mean, it's a tough league and it's a cat and mouse league all the time.
all
So
the
it's
time.
on the coaches and D'Amico Ryans to put Stroud in the best position to go out and win.
he
So,
did
but yeah, this should be a good one.
he did lose some weapons though. I mean, originally I had the Bucks and Commanders too, because I was like, man, it should be a good game. I like the rematches. You got a couple of rematches, right? You got the Bucks, Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you got the Steelers and the Ravens rubber
Yeah.
match.
That's a 9.5 spread.
Golly.
You have the Vikings and the Rams. I mean, I was
Packers, Eagles were first game of the year.
Packers,
Remember?
Packers and Eagles. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of rematches. So I'm looking forward. Like I said, I was looking forward to the Bucks and Commanders game because, I mean, a lot of points could be scored, and it should be a good matchup. And but since Joey already said that, I'm gonna go with the Vikings and Rams because the Vikings were favored once before against the Rams, and the Rams beat them pretty good. The Rams beat up on them. Even though at the end of the game, the Vikings did get robbed because the dude did pull Sam Darnold's face mask in the end zone.
Dead.
But I don't know if that would have changed the outcome of the game. I think that was Puka's first game back, and he went bananas. I was listening to a commentator today say that Brian Flores didn't realize that Puka was coming back. Like, how you
How you
know
know? He
that
what?
What?
Puka's not
Who's
coming
that
back?
guy?
But so the Rams defense has been playing a lot better because their offense has been trash. So it should be a good matchup because Sam Darnold got a lot riding on this game. I mean, Sam Darnold he basically has to win.
We
He
didn't
has
plan for this.
he has to win, Joey.
Why
Sam
he
Darnold,
warming up?
if he don't
Who's that
win,
guy?
if he doesn't win, he's not coming back to Minnesota. He will sign a deal somewhere, but it probably will not be in a great situation that he has now with Addison and Jefferson and
Mm-hmm.
Hawkinson. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you got playmakers. You got playmakers everywhere. And even that other boy, Naylor, that rookie, he's good too. Number 83. He's really
He
good.
went off last week with
Yeah. So,
he had like 2 touchdowns, I think.
yeah, because Jefferson, so I'm gonna go with that matchup. I mean, the Eagles and Packers, both quarterbacks, one coming off concussion, one with a mystery injury.
Mystery.
The Packers are kind of an enigma. You don't know what they're gonna do.
You definitely don't.
Well, and that's those two. If neither of those quarterbacks, like I just looked up Jordan Love, they said is they're hopeful he plays. Like
Goodness.
if neither of them play, they're done. I mean, whatever quarterback doesn't play. I mean, I think Hurts will play, but you just never know. And I think it's a pretty
But they
big drop
haven't
off.
said no. They saying he looking good. He looks sharp, but they didn't mention him coming up concussion protocol yet.
Yeah.
Been
I
3 weeks.
see.
So I mean, even if you look sharp at practice, if you don't come off, if you don't meet all the standards, you can't play. Bills, you got to be careful with the Bills and the Broncos.
Hey.
Be careful because the Bills defense is susceptible. Broncos can put up points, so you don't know. The defense is decent. And then I think that's right. We covered every matchup, I believe.
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean it's some good matches. When was the
Steelers and Ravens? The Steelers and the Ravens are going in two opposite directions.
They are.
The Steelers have won 4 in a row. I'm sorry, Ravens have won 4 straight. Oh, I think 4 or 5 straight. Their Steelers have dropped their last 4 games.
Yeah, they've looked horrible.
And George Pickens can't catch for some reason.
He clearly doesn't understand that the standard is the standard.
Okay,
He's got to go.
I'm glad you brought that up because to me, it's the standard. It has been losing in the playoffs for the last couple of years.
The standard has been you barely squeak into the playoffs.
He ain't losing
and
the
then
first
you
round.
bounce in the first round. That's the standard.
He hasn't won
my
a
team
playoff game in years.
He can coach my team any
day.
Joey,
because you would love just a losing in the wild card every year. That's a plus for you. That's
a
Super
Bowl too. He's won a Super Bowl too.
Yeah, when was that? Years ago.
True, but he's never had a losing.
He's not. I wouldn't even put him in the top 5 coaches right now.
Gotta have the roster too, Chris. He's not the one building it.
Yeah, he needs more playmakers on offense.
He's not the one building
But the problem is that if you just keep finishing right where you're at, you're never
drafted. Him or is it the front office? He's not the one that's making draft picks.
What I'm saying is if you keep finishing, if you just keep I would rather be horrible for a couple of years than just keep being a middling team.
So you want him to coach.
Welcome to Cowboy Nation, Chris.
You want him to coach to
lose. Exactly. I want the Sam Presti model. I don't care. I would say, I guess you can't really say go out and lose.
When you were a coach, though, you can't afford to say
no.
The Sam Presti model doesn't apply to NFL coaches.
It does not.
True. Look at Belichick. Not. Look at Belichick lost.
Antonio Pierce got.
Look at Mayo.
And Mayo, they had trash
set up for failure, and he's out.
Got fired.
Set up for failure, and he's out of here.
Yeah, that's both all that.
Next year, the Patriots that have Vrabel, they'll win the same amount of games, but he'll get a second chance.
Yes, he will.
Yeah.
Yes, he will.
Whoever the coach of the Raiders, unless they get a quarterback, going to have the same thing happen to them. So
yeah, I just think that
look at Chicago. Look at Chicago's coach. They fired the OC. They fired him. He should
have fired him last year.
They fired him last year.
They should have.
Chicago, the Hail Mary ended their whole season.
They sure did.
Yeah.
After the Hail Mary, they lost 11 in a row.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what an
broke their back.
After the Hail Mary play.
Awful.
Broke the back.
Yes, it did.
They banged him.
What did he say right before he broke back? Right before
he said, but I know he broke his back though. Broke it. Snap back.
That's
Batman's back.
Don't get me started on Bane's voice. Oh.
Hey, what, Joey?
Then we break them. I gotta look it up now.
All right, good. All right, okay. Playoffs.
Would be painful.
Playoffs. Now it's time for the college playoffs. We got tomorrow night. We got some real bluegrass teams playing. We got Penn State, Notre Dame. It's like the 80s, right? Penn State, Notre Dame. That's the 80s type.
Yes, it is.
80s,
yeah.
80s, early 90s type football. And then we got Texas and Ohio State. Long Hook'em Horns versus the Buckeyes.
Yeah, these are all big time, old school
big time games. So Notre Dame, Penn State. Chris, who you got in this game?
Man, this one. There's a reason this line is -1. Because this is this is almost basically a pick 'em. These two teams, I kind of think they're similar where I really don't trust either quarterback as a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I think that both teams run the ball really well. They both have good run defenses. And then you look at both coaches, you really try to look for a coaching edge. I don't even know how much of a coaching edge there is even for the two of them because they've always lost.
Big game.
They said James Franklin, what stat did I see where it was like he's 1-11 in games where he's the underdog.
Wow.
Something crazy. and then Notre Dame is pretty good, I think, against the spread when they're favored. But I mean, the thing is that like even at -1, really neither team is like a big dog or big, but I don't feel like Notre Dame has been fully tested this year. But then if you look at the games they played Georgia, they did what they kind of needed to do against Georgia. I mean, Georgia defensively is as good as it gets, and they still I don't know if they necessarily move the ball on them that well, but they moved the chains when they needed to. Riley Leonard kept them in
Kickoff
games.
return. Yeah, Riley Leonard running the ball, got him.
That's the biggest thing. I don't think he's going to beat you as a passer, but he does run well. He's a better runner than Drew Aller is.
Mm-hmm.
And he's definitely he's a hard-nosed type of player that is, but the one thing that does scare me is Notre Dame kind of thrives on getting you to turn the ball over. And, when you kind of live or die by needing turnovers, then, that's just, to me, that's not a massive way to a massive edge, because if you don't turn the ball over, then what? You know what I mean? So I also saw a stat. Let me see. So Penn State's like a top 5 in the red zone, and Notre Dame is,
unless they're playing Ohio State.
Unless they're playing Ohio State, Chris.
No, defensively, not in the offense. Okay. Defensively, sorry. And Notre Dame is basically like one of the better red zone offenses. So it's going to come down. But they said they don't kick the ball.
This game.
But they don't kick. They're like horrible at kicking field goals. Where Notre Dame is. Mm-hmm. They're like 90th in the country or something like that. So pretty much they always go for it. So it could come down to those type of little things where if Penn State kind of bends but doesn't break, So to me, I'm gonna go. One thing is that tight end, that Tyler Warren, is he a senior or a junior?
Yeah. I know he will get drafted. He's gonna be a first-round pick.
He's gonna be a high pick for sure. Yeah. He's probably their best player, I would say.
He is.
He kind of does. I mean, Singleton's really good, but that tight end, because I know you hate on their offensive play call or that one sequence, but the way they move him around the tight end, and
he's nice.
Yeah, I mean they get him in position to dominate. So if they can shut him down, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go Notre Dame, but I feel like this is a game where I wouldn't be surprised at all. I'd be surprised if it was a blowout to me. But I'm gonna go Notre Dame.
A close one. What you got, Joey?
I'm gonna side with Chris on this, JB. I am leaning towards. I'm going to pick Notre Dame. This is I owe Marcus Freeman an apology. I hated on them for putting all that effort into going down to College Station, winning a big game, and then laying an egg at home the very next week. It sickened me. However, and I said that they were not
sickened you.
He was like,
I was definitely dry heaving after that, JB.
Joey had to run to the toilet.
I was like, what am I looking at? And then, of course, I was trying to find a way for them to lose. There was no way. That was a big topic on CJ Squared about them finishing undefeated after that. I did not believe in them. There were a couple of weeks I did pick against them straight up to lose, and they proved me wrong. This Notre Dame team is definitely following the lead of Marcus Freeman. It reminds me of a 1990 Giants football team where you know what they're going to do. They're going to run the ball, bottom line, and they have a quarterback who is not as talented as the guy on the other side. However, the guy that they got playing quarterback has heart, and that guy plays hard, and there's no pressure on him. All the pressure is on Aller, because Aller is the 5-star kid. Aller is the kid that's supposed to maybe be a future NFL starter. Leonard is not anything like that, but he just plays hard. He was Elway-like in the Georgia game, throwing his body around to get a first down that pretty much clinched the game for them. So I think Notre Dame is going to win this at the line of scrimmage, and I don't think Notre Dame is going to allow Penn State to run the ball on them successfully. I got Notre Dame winning this because it's going to be one in the trenches. Cliche, yes, but right now Notre Dame is pushing everybody around. That's exactly
All right, good. I got Notre Dame as well. And let's talk about
for all those reasons we mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I'm not even gonna,
Do we all have close games? Does anyone have it more than like 5?
I think it's going. I think it's going to go under. I think it's going
like
to be.
If you're betting right now, you're betting under, and you're taking Notre Dame minus the 1.
Yeah, I may have to do an alt line on that. Flip it up a little bit, but yeah, I would take the under. I think what's the number? The line is it 45 or something?
Yeah,
what is
something like that. I would think. I mean, I would be surprised if it goes. But there's game there, like you when you bet, like you definitely they have it ones where I don't know if you ever do those, Joey, but it's like you can bet like both, so it adds kind of like the same game parlay where they come on. Like it's 44.5 is what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah. See, yep. All right. Texas, Ohio State. Who you got, Chris?
I don't see if the thing is I'm not a Will Howard guy at all. I don't think he's that good, and he annoys me. But the way he's been playing the last couple weeks, if he plays in close to his peak level of what he's been playing, I don't see a game even being close. I feel like they're gonna blow him out. Wow. So I think that roster is just so much better than every other team in football. So to me, it's really just comes down to when they play bad, it's Will Howard just hasn't been that good. I mean, they're so good. They've got so many guys that are probably first and second round picks on their team. That team is just loaded. I mean, there's been very few teams that have been better than them over the last, as far as just on the roster. So, and we just saw Texas, who, like, they ran the ball well against Clemson, but they didn't run the ball at all against Arizona State at all. I think they had like 50-something yards, 53 yards maybe, and they got ran all over against Arizona State. Now, Arizona State does move the ball well. We saw that with old Scatterboo, but you're talking about a level up over Scatterboo with these two running backs there. And the thing is that with Ohio State, you got to pick your poison. If Will Howard is playing well, you got Jeremiah Smith, who looks like he's becoming, kind of taking that next step now. He can't be. Oregon couldn't touch him at all. So to me, I feel like if Texas doesn't run the ball that well, then the way to beat Texas is getting to Quinn Ewers, making him uncomfortable. Because if he's good enough quarterback, he's a dominant quarterback when he's just able to sit in the pocket and pick you apart. He's got a great arm, and he can make plays. But when you get him under pressure like Georgia did, he's not nearly the same guy. But if they can't run the ball, then it allows all those guys, Caleb Downs, to come downhill. It allows these defensive linemen to come downhill. They got so many guys that I just can't see that they can hold them. So to me, it's basically the question is, do we all think Texas can run the ball on Ohio State? I just don't see they can. So the two X factors to me are, can they run the ball, and will Will Howard play? And Texas, the only way is Will Howard. They have to make him uncomfortable, and they have to and they have to run the ball. Mm-hmm. If not, I think it's a blowout. So to me, I'm going Ohio State winning big, because I just don't see those two things happening.
Okay, Joe, what you got?
I will second that, JB.
Oh, there we go. Cheers.
I will second that. I will be, and possibly the way things are going, apologizing to Ryan Day in a few weeks. This run that they're going, well, yeah, sort of a run. It's sort of like, of course, I was calling for Ryan Day's job, and I think I had every right to. You don't get sunned at home against an inferior team that is missing some of their better players. Ryan Day should have people calling for his job. That's just what it is. When you have the best team on paper and you don't produce, that's what's going to happen. This run that they're going on, so it reminds me of Tubby Smith in '98. Replacing
does not.
Yes, it does, JB. Just listen. How you gonna tell me? I don't know when that's making the point.
Shepard.
Tubby Smith was replacing a very popular coach and was iffy and ended up winning the entire thing.
Who was on that roster?
The same thing.
His best player averaged 12 points a game. And guess what? Another tidbit for you. My high school basketball coach was an assistant coach on that team.
True.
Mike Sutton. Shout out to Mike Sutton.
Oh,
any relation to?
No.
Okay.
Anybody gonna say no?
No other Suttons. Not Cortland.
Like Uncle Ruckus, no relation.
So Joey, you thinking big, or you thinking do they cover the 5.5?
Yes, I'm thinking.
Or is that a foreshadowing to come of your bets?
I think this could be big, Chris.
Lord. So let me give y'all guys a not so fast Mike.
There we go. We needed that.
And here is my argument. Ohio State has been playing out of their minds. Texas coming in, they hobbling.
Limping in.
Playing in the Cotton Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But also, did you know that this will be the best defense that Ohio State plays this year?
I mean, Texas is ridiculous defensively, for sure.
This is the best. Now, Ohio State, guess what? Ohio State is the best defense per points per game in the nation. The Longhorns are number 4.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, though, that I do agree that if you have Will Howard and you can make him not be that good, it negates maybe some of their playmakers. Texas has the defense to do that.
And guess what, Chris? Will Howard has had 4 chances to beat Texas, and he hasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, because when he was at Kansas State, I think he's just an average quarterback, and everyone else around him is ridiculous. And I think that
completely.
But he has played really well as of late. So the question, that's what I'm saying. Those two things have to happen. If Texas is going to win, they have to make Will Howard. They have to do what Michigan did to Will Howard.
Mm-hmm. And that's the one thing Texas has the ability to do.
Yeah,
they have the ability to do. I mean, Ohio State's on they on a crazy run right now.
But the thing is that if you take away Will Howard, you cannot let Judkins and Henderson run on you the way Scatterboo did against them last week.
But
absolutely.
But here's the thing, though. If you take away Will Howard, that means you're taking away the big play from the receivers.
True. I mean,
that's how you keep the game. That's how you keep the game close.
Good luck.
Yeah, I would think their game plan has to be
done. Listen, if Wink Martindale can do it with Michigan, Texas can do it with those guys they got.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it can happen. It's just they can't win trying to outscore Ohio State and just out offensive. They gotta.
I can guarantee you that's not how they're going to play it.
They've got to do what Michigan did: slow the game down, run the ball, which is opposite of basically they cannot play the way they get played. They have to play a way they did against Clemson and not Arizona State. It's which team's going to show up.
Michigan, when Michigan played Ohio State, the quarterback for Michigan threw the ball 16 times, 62 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Michigan, I believe they ran the ball. They had to run the ball at least how many times they run the ball. Michigan ran the ball 42 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
for 172 yards.
Keep the
That's it.
playmakers off the field.
But the kicker is Texas is going to have better quarterback play. Texas has playmakers at
Oh, they
wide
got that.
receiver.
Isaiah Bond is a first round, not a first round, but he's a really high pick. Ewers,
And Golden is their best player.
yeah, he's. I mean, Ewers is probably a first or second round quarterback. I mean, we're not talking about some scrub here at all. It's just this. You got Texas is a team that matches up well if Texas does what they can do.
True.
And it's just going to be a matter of can Texas do what they can do? Who's going to dominate their will
and play. If their defense comes out and plays like they played against Washington last year, they're gonna get motorboated.
Yeah.
But if they come out and play like they played against Clemson, they're gonna get because old boy had a big game against them.
Yeah. I mean, they just have their pieces right now are better than what they're putting out on the field.
Yeah.
I feel like.
So I think they got a chance, especially you get them in the Cotton Bowl. It could be a big deal. So I got Ohio State. That's what I got. I'm sorry, I got Texas. What am I saying? I got Texas.
I hope I really just, I mean, for me as a football fan, I really just because that Ohio State or that Texas Arizona State game was sweet to watch. That was a fun game to watch. That was
going to be a blowout in Texas. Just when Scottaboo
when he
threw that daggone touchdown, like, uh-oh.
I mean, early on we were going, oh, this game is done because they jumped out early, and
I tell you what, that one what it did for Texas, man. You can't say Texas ain't battle tested because he threw that touchdown on 4th down, man.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He did. He got a big pair.
Yes, he does.
Throw that pass on 4th down for a touchdown. You gotta have a big pair for that, man.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
You were right about that.
You gotta have all the confidence in the world.
You were right about that.
That pass right there made that man more money.
Gonna be a lot of NFL scouts at that game.
Oh yeah. Guess
everywhere.
What? Pretty soon, people in our dynasty gonna be tanking for Smith in a year or two.
Oh man, that guy is ridiculous.
He is an alien.
I think he is Neighbors and Harrison's combined.
Oh, that's.
Oh my gosh, he's an alien.
He's the build of Harrison, but with the after catching ability and of Neighbors, I think.
Alien.
True freshman.
Alien.
Yeah, well, he'll be in the league sooner or later, breaking records.
Alien.
Yeah,
probably be the next rookie to try to break Brock Bowers' record.
If I'm tanking for them, I'm doing a true tank, Joey. I'm not putting that bad roster out like you are.
You just not setting your line.
I'm just not even. You're gonna look. I just got 0. I'm like C double. I'm just not even having guys in there. Like,
oh my goodness, Joey. I still. I do got owe you an apology, Joey. I did a real good. I did a deep dive into your roster.
I figured you would.
I was like, oh yeah.
You're like, he wasn't tanking.
I figured you would.
He's just horrible.
I was like, oh yeah, I see. Now I see.
He's like, he kept telling me he wasn't tanking. I was like, there's no way he's this bad.
I know if I tank, I risk getting kicked out of this league. I am not trying to get kicked out of this league.
Oh my goodness.
He had 12.
I'm competing.
Founding fathers don't get kicked out.
The integrity of the league was
at get harassed.
At stake.
Joey had 12 defenders on his team.
Well, there's nobody else to take.
So did Ben. I think Ben had more defenders than he had offensive players. Like, what are you? I text him, what are you doing? You got more defenders than you dropping Christian McCaffrey.
Foolish. He didn't understand the rules.
He's like, I can't drop the safety for like some random team. He's like, but I can drop McCaffrey in a
Oh
dynasty.
my goodness.
Anyway, you know what? Since we talk about fantasy, let's talk about fantasy.
I don't know if Buttons is out there, but he said
And Buttons is he's a Yahoo snob. So when he gets here, he gets here. I know that Buttons is, I know he's playing cards or something
Yeah,
tonight.
he
So,
just
Yes,
said
he
he
is.
was-
Poker
he
night.
might show up around 10:45. So he could be watching. He could be watching. Like, yeah, somebody just came back on to watch, so it could be him, but I'm looking at who's joined. He hasn't joined yet. But talk about fantasy. And I think we all had decent fantasy years. Oh, there's Buttons. There he goes. He's in the lobby. He is joining us now.
Bring him out for judgment.
Bring him out.
Oh, there he is.
Right here.
Buttons,
Yeah,
Buttons, real quick.
Bang Theory shirt.
Real quick, Buttons, who you got in the two games? Not to cover, to actually win.
Not to cover, but actually.
Yeah, like
win.
who you got for the winners?
Okay, I like Texas.
Ooh.
That's in
Oh.
the midday.
Buttons. There you go.
Thumbs up. And how about in the Notre Dame Penn State game?
Notre Dame.
Oh,
Straight up.
Oh no!
We all
All have Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Oh, that might
Let the
be-
Godfather know.
Did you really? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
oh.
only me and
Tell
you
the
got Texas.
Godfather.
All right.
Only you
Don't
and I
tell the
got Texas.
Godfather.
No, do not slip that to the Godfather.
Oh my god, he would be so
I'm-
upset.
I'm thinking Ohio State big.
Big.
I picked Ohio. I picked in our bracket. I picked Texas to win it all, but I still think Ohio. The way they're playing right now, only Cooper was the only guy to take Ohio State of everybody in the whole thing. No, only one person picked Ohio State.
Probably wasn't a lie. He just did it. He wasn't logical.
He's a Travion fan, JB.
He's
That's
a
all
big.
I knew.
That's
Love
true.
He's
Oh,
a,
but you
he's a
didn't-
Jeremiah.
though.
He's a Jeremiah Smith fan.
You were scared money for that one. I got it.
Yeah, I was not enough.
Well,
money
there's
for
one.
that.
There's four.
You were
People,
scared money.
4 people I think can win it still.
Oh, Yeah.
There's
not me.
no. I mean, anyone who picked Oregon, I think, is out. I think it's
Out.
basically one guy has. I have Texas, but I can't win because the other guy has. One guy hasn't lost at all.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
But
Is it James Fells?
He's been perfect.
Bells
No, it's
is
not
killing
Bells.
it.
no, Fells isn't in there. I don't think.
Okay.
No James Fells, Joey.
Yeah, he's my cousin's. He's my cousin's, like the husband of my cousin. They're like,
Dude right here is he just rigging up money on our stuff.
Huge Penn State fan. Huge Penn State fan.
but it's not him. There's a guy who has Penn State winning it all. Dana has Texas, but he has Notre Dame in the final. So he could win both of those. Coop has Ohio State, and then the guy who's undefeated has Texas. So I can't win even though I have Texas because I've lost one game.
Oh, okay.
So I'm already done. Even though it's like so this
Hey, you won the college pick 'em. You're good to go.
so I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
you cashed in this year on a CJ. I think all your Bunsen cashed in, got the dynasty win. Oh, Buns, congratulations on getting that dynasty victory.
Well done,
Appreciate you.
Buttons.
What you say, Joey?
Well done.
Yep.
Well done.
That's the other side of the coin. Buttons, Joey.
Yeah, he's
Did-
looking up.
He didn't get
Looking-
a dub.
Looking way up.
You're looking
You
way.
guys
up.
talked about-
when you
He's
don't
good
do
at
well,
draft, though.
you get the number 1 pick. Now
He's going Trayvon.
don't screw it up.
Going Trayvon.
He wants
Going
Trayvon.
Trayvon Henderson. Right now, I'm calling him.
That's my man. That's my
Gonna
man.
get pressured. He'll get pressured.
We already
He'll be
talked
like,
about tanking for Jeremiah Smith.
He could trade back.
good, but he's not.
Nah, nah.
Not that pick, at least. He may
Definitely.
trade back that second round pick, for a quarterback or something.
Oh, you already know Joey's got one Alabama quarterback on his mind.
I got someone else that has popped up too.
Oh, they
Somebody
probably
else
not on the block though. They got to be on the block.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing you better not try to trade with Chris with C Double. That's not going to work.
I know
Ain't gonna
that.
go too well.
I do
He's
know
like,
that one.
Even
he's like,
though
we're working on something.
Achan is on the block, but oh, hold on. I'm trying to find. I got set up for our. Oh, here we go. Our fantasy studs and duds of the
Duds and
year.
duds.
Studs and duds. We had our midway studs and duds. Let me go ahead and share my screen.
What gamers are? I missed that first segment. What games are you most excited for, real quick?
We basically the only one we didn't. No one chose.
No one chose your
the
game,
Ravens.
Buttons. No
No
one
one
chose
chose your game.
no one. You know why, Buttons? You know why? Because today on the radio they were talking about how the Bills are right.
Hey, hey.
Right for what?
Right for an upset. Listen, the Bills right now, they're either gonna blow Denver out or it's gonna go down to the wire. It's gonna be one of the two. If they play like they played against New England 2 weeks ago, it's gonna be a problem.
They're gonna blow them out.
Blowout City.
They're gonna
They're
blow
gonna
them out.
blow them out. But it could be. It could.
One thing I know about Josh Allen is that in the wild card games, he shows up.
Yes, he does.
Okay. All right.
Yes, he does.
I mean, Josh Allen, he's had good playoffs. He's playing in the era of Patrick Mahomes. That's everybody's kryptonite in the AFC, except for Joe Burrow, but he didn't make the playoffs.
They should have, though. The Chiefs lost that game on purpose, JB.
Oh, they did.
Absolutely.
Travis Kelce said he'll play the daggone. He would play the Bengals in the Walmart parking lot.
He was out there, JB?
Yep. You don't get mad. You gonna get mad at the Chiefs for resting their best players? Really?
Mistake.
You know what, bud? Here's the thing.
If
the Bengals would have made the playoffs, Buttons, you'd be up here sweating your butthole.
No, JB. I told
the first round.
I told my buddy that I want him. You know why? Because I want to go through the best, JB. I want to go through Joe Burrow. I want to go through Lamar Jackson. I want to go through Patrick Mahomes.
You're going to get Lamar next week. Don't worry.
You're going to get a taste of Lamar.
Next week.
Are you going to be saying the same thing you said a couple of weeks ago, how they come out and dog them? Because you think the Raiders are going to dog them, JB. They're going to dog them. Said Derrick Henry is going to run all over him, and he did. I hope that if the Ravens go to Buffalo, I hope it's like 10 degrees outside, and they got to tackle Derrick Henry like 40 times. Lord have mercy. Woo, Lord.
Can we tackle him?
Woo.
He might have just scored another touchdown on us just now.
Just now. I mean, a big run. And they said I think that the guy was going over some, these people on the radio be having some real advanced statistics. And they were going over explosive run rate, who gives up the most runs of 10 yards plus. Oh. And I think the Bills were the worst team in the playoffs of giving up runs of 10 plus yards, percentage wise.
I'm not shocked.
But Denver don't run the ball though, so not a problem this week. But anyway, Joey, who is your stud? Who is your stud quarterback for the year? It could be somebody that you had on your team that carried you to a title, or it could be whomever. I mean, you're probably gonna say, "No, I'm not gonna say it for you."
Well, I already said it earlier, JB. I'm gonna say it again.
Daniels. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in.
No.
Who is it gonna be?
Baker Mayfield, 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns.
Should have made the Pro Bowl.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, definitely,
Pro,
definitely.
Pro
But
Bowl.
the
Yeah.
NFL is more. They wanna promote their brand, and they figured that Daniels would promote their brand more. I'm thinking.
They actually play that?
You know what? They
Do they?
do.
Is there really an actual Pro Bowl game?
Yeah,
Flag.
they play
Flag.
flag football.
Flag.
I don't know why. I would not be playing in
You
that.
know why? Because you see that guy get hurt a couple years ago playing volleyball
It's,
in
they
the
should
sand or whatever.
outlaw the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
I would never play. Never.
All right. So Baker did finish as I think quarterback 5 or 4. I think 4. He's quarterback QB4 for the year.
Yeah, I
QB4.
mean,
All right, nice
it
pick.
depends
Chris,
on your league, but he finished in the top 5 for sure.
I mean, I'm talking about when I say finish, like these finishes, Button, just so you know, I'm talking about no bonuses, just regular point scoring. Baker, number 4. Remember, the official rankings that we use on Stitch Square are Fantasy Pros.
Got
So,
you.
Yeah.
Got
Okay.
you.
that's the official CJ Square rankings we use
Got
for
it.
all things. All right, I'm going by those. All right. So, Chris, who's your
I got rookie quarterback Bo Nix.
Whoa, Knicks. Okay.
He was what, 25th ranked and finished in the top 10. So that's pretty big that's
You could have got
value.
him. You could have got him off the waiver wire.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
You know, you can't beat that getting that kind of production off the waiver wire. All right, Button, who you got?
Joe Burrow, JB.
Joe Burrow. You ain't lying. Joe Burrow, QB 3 on the year in fantasy, I believe. My guy, I'm going with the guy who, in my league, that I won my championship, outscored Josh Allen in the quarters, outscored Lamar in the semis, and brought it home for me in the finals. I'm going with Jared Goff.
38 touchdowns.
Don't sleep
Maybe,
on Jared Goff. Don't sleep on
you putting
Jared
this?
Goff, Buttons. Don't laugh at my choice. Jared Goff was QB6, Buttons. Don't laugh.
JB, are
He's
you
good.
putting this on are you putting this on a document?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not sharing my screen. I thought I was. I think I was going through screens, so I switched it. There you go. Can you see it now?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, there we go.
You feel better now?
Thank you, JB.
Should I make it bigger for you? You gonna fall for that trick, Joey? All right. Running back, Joey. Who's your fantasy stud at running back?
JB fantasy stud, Buttons man's James Cook.
Oh, James Cook.
18 touchdowns, JB. Last year, 6.
Yeah, well, it was Josh Allen's fault, not his. Okay. Josh Allen was hogging up the goal line carries. This year he still did, but Cook was doing his thing, man.
He cooked.
No,
Let him
that's
cook.
He cooked.
Cook. That is, yeah. Okay.
25 carries this weekend. Please and thank you.
It's on its way, Buttons. Don't worry.
That dude is not carrying the ball 25 times, man.
He better.
It's on its way.
You think you're really gonna give him the ball 25 times this week, Buttons?
If we want to win.
You want to win. Okay.
You will win.
Button, did you make the call? So did you make the call? Did you call McDermott and be like, look, my man, look, my guy. This is what we need to win.
You want your job? You want to walk out of here alive?
Say you want to walk out here alive.
I got news for you, JB. If they walk out of there with a loss this weekend, we're looking for a new coach and we're looking for a new kicker in that order.
And he'll be put through the table.
The table?
Devon!
Well, okay.
Those tables.
So who you got, Chris?
Give me Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah. balled out
Josh,
and
Josh
carried
Jacobs
him for a little bit.
cost me, man. He cost me big in one league. Cost me big. Didn't outscore the Green Bay defense for me in the semis. Lost by 1 because they benched him and gave touchdowns to Emmanuel Wilson and the other guy. I hate that about coaches. All right. All right. It's like when the Saints get down to the goal line, Alvin Kamara done got all 50 yards. Let's give it to Taysom Hill.
Well, imagine if
Yeah.
you're Saquon Barkley. He didn't score 1 touchdown from a yard in this year.
His average touchdown distance was 26 yards.
I mean, his was he had an MVP year. Imagine if they give even half of those red zone, like those 1-2 yard touchdowns.
He probably had like Damian Thomason type year.
Imagine
Right.
bringing back
Yards and
the
touchdowns.
GM that said that we don't need him.
I love that they show where they're
JB, speaking of Saquon Barkley, you can hold your ears again, Joey. That's my pick for the running back MVP this year because the Giants could have had this guy for $12.5 million and he would have been a Giants legend forever, etched in their ring of fame. And they decided to spend their money elsewhere, like on guys like Brian Burns, pay him double than what they would have paid Barkley. Crazy.
Ah.
But
Yep.
you're not going to even bring up that
Saquon-
they gave the wrong quarterback money.
The only thing is I can say is if Saquon would have played for the Giants, he would not have been chasing Eric Dickerson.
True. Or O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, he would have had he would have had a great year or a decent year. He may have finished outside the top 12 for the Giants.
Maybe.
He may have.
Possibly.
Anyway, I got Gibbs here. Most of us don't count week 18, but he still had a great year. Big time breakout year for him. I could have went home. I could have chose Bijan, but I had Bijan everywhere, so it's everywhere I could get him, I had him. So I mean, Bijan was supposed to do what he did. Bijan finished as, even though he didn't get all the hype, he still finished in the top 3. Right? He's one first round pick that panned out. All right, who you got a receiver, Joey? Your stud.
JB, please put in the name Jackson Smith and Jigba.
JSN. JSN had a big semifinal week. Not so much in the championship, but the semifinal. That Chicago, listen, this had to be the worst end of year fantasy week ever. Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's just too much.
Horrendous.
And then the Thursday game. I won a league where my kicker scored a 0.
Check your lineup on Christmas. Check your lineup on the day after Christmas.
yeah, it's getting to be almost too much. I think that part of what makes football so good is that it was like it's easy to just is not every day, and now they're like trying to dominate because of the money, and I think it's taken away a little bit from doing that. I don't mind when they play like, you know, a Monday night game is always good, but now you're trying to dominate every night. It's like it just becomes like almost too much.
I think next year, Christmas falls on a Thursday next year, so I don't think you're not gonna get a Wednesday game. I don't think so.
All right,
I think you probably just get a Thursday game. And you'll get a Black Friday game in Thanksgiving time. Probably Chiefs against the Raiders or somebody. But yeah,
I mean, the thing is like they release like the top 100. Did you see that? Release the top 100 programs this year that the most watched events or like shows, and NFL had like
dominated
50 or 60 of the top 100.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
And then college football had like 10 or 15 of them.
Oh, okay.
And then like the Olympics had like 3.
Mm-hmm.
So
probably it had to be the Olympic final, because that right there that was must-see TV.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, they definitely had a few of those types of things, but you know, like the Academy Awards, I think was in there, like those, but like it was NFL.
You
like,
watch that?
I guess. But I mean, it was just loaded with just NFL and then college football sprinkled in.
Yeah.
So people, I mean, if you're the NFL, why not? Why not try to dominate every night?
People still going to
People are
keep
watching.
Yes, they
There's
do.
more money.
People going. Some of us fans going to keep rooting for our teams, even though we have terrible owners. But anyway, Chris, your wide receiver.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Brian Thomas Jr. He was kind of the forgotten rookie, and he had a ridiculous year also. Jags aren't great, but
it's fourth. It was Chase, Jefferson, St. Brown, Thomas Jr.
he just kept catching touchdowns. And you could have got, he was the 40th ranked. JSN and Brian Thomas Jr. Actually, Cortland Sutton, another guy who kind of broke out. Those guys were all right there, 39, 40, and 41. And
at the end of the draft, yeah. I mean, so many things broke right for him though. Kurt got hurt, Ingram got hurt, and I mean they had to go through him for offense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and he was probably like going in, like there was a lot of hype on him on what he could be. He's basically just still the same guy as he was at LSU, just just a big, tall, like fast guy who catches long touchdowns. Like he's that guy. He doesn't have the Neighbors type of like 8-9 catches in a game. He's not really going to be that guy, but he's going to probably always score a big amount of touchdowns every year.
Yeah, well, depends on the quarterback he is, because Trevor Lawrence has a new coach. This is his third coach.
Well, they better
realize is it the coaches or is the player?
Yeah, probably both there.
You already paid him like $270 million, but anyway. But who's your wide receiver?
I admit that, this guy, his first name starts with an M. Mike. I mean, not Mike. Malik Neighbors, JB, is my wide receiver. He had who did he have throwing in the ball? I did not think that this guy was going to be that good, and it just turns out that this guy is just flat out good.
Yeah.
Well
I think he led the league in targets.
I mean, they wanted to feed him, JB.
And he missed 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He definitely led. Let's see. He had 5 less targets on the year than Jamar Chase.
In 2 years, JB, when the Giants get Arch Manning, this kid is going to explode.
I know. He's going to be nasty for the Giants, even though they're going to suck.
He's the only reason why Shane has a job today. If he
are you talking about the GM?
If he sucks this year, Shane is out.
Trust the process, Joey. They know what they're doing. You've got a quarterback for next year.
Who?
Drew Lock.
Stop it, Buttons.
They're going to tank on purpose with Drew Lock next year and get Arch Manning in there.
Somebody should go ahead and trade for the kid from New England, man. Milton. He look pretty good, man.
He look really good. He's a playmaker, JB. I've been saying it all year.
Somebody need to go ahead and give him a shot.
Playmaker.
My wide receiver is, I mean, I even hate to even say this because I hate this team. I'm just gonna be honest, I do. Go with Scary Terry. I mean, I'm looking at the top guys for the full season. In standard, standard is different, but I'll go ahead and put it in PPR because it's still fantasy pros. PPR, guys, still in standard PPR, he still was wide receiver number 7.
And
I was getting drafted.
One of the most consistent guys of the year, JB. I will add on to that. And I know I've been saying all year that Washington is fool's gold. This kid is not fool's gold. He only had like 3 or 4 games where he scored under 10. And in fantasy football, if you're a wide receiver on your team, you want him to score between 10 and 15 points every week.
He averaged 15. He averaged 15.8. The only thing about it, I mean, low volume. I mean, Neighbors had 170 targets. He had 117. But he had 13 touchdowns.
Yep.
But also, Daniels runs a lot more. They use Ertz a good amount. Like the
Jesus.
Giants
Who
have
knows next year for that
nobody.
guy? I don't know if next
No,
year
at all.
he's gonna go higher next year, but I don't know if he's gonna give you the same kind of production. But
I mean, the
we'll
thing is, you could, if you're looking at like, I mean, you got from 28 down, Zay Flowers had a really good year. T. Higgins, McLaurin, Ridley played pretty good. Godwin was on fire until he got hurt.
Mhm.
Jaden Reed played all right. JSN, Brian Thomas, Cortland Sutton, Jordan Addison was on fire. These are all guys you can get 30. Jameson Williams, he's a guy who has had some huge games. McConkey, who we already talked about, at 48.
Chris, a down year for the wide receiver, my friend. Let me tell you how I know. In a PPR league for the full season, Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams were 10 and 11.
Okay.
Well, and I just think that
Jerry Jeudy was 12.
Yeah, so I was going to say him. You could get him at 62.
You got Jerry Jeudy for a sandwich.
I mean, I think I picked him up off of waivers in one of our leagues.
Yep.
So, but that just tells you the depth in fantasy of wide receiver that you probably, I think getting those big names, probably like Chase and Jefferson, you're going to, like, say a Jameson Williams, the problem with him is he goes off for 150 and then next week he doesn't do anything, where Chase, Jefferson pretty much every week are going off. So you're going to have you're probably the more consistent guys on the top, but you could probably say, well, I'm just going to sleep on the top guys and then go down. There's a lot more talent than like the next position, like tight end. It's just like void of really good deep talent,
Yeah.
Jameson Williams, I mean, when you talk about him, guys who had 1,000 yards receiving, he had the biggest yards for reception. He was 17.3. Right.
He's a big play for sure. He's a big.
The next was AJ Brown, who had a decent year, but not really an AJ Brown year. And then Calvin Ridley at 15.9. So yeah, for 1,000-yard receiver. So I mean,
all these Alabama guys.
Yeah. Anyway,
saving Alabama,
Ohio State, LSU. It's like
tight end. Joey, who you got a tight end?
JB tight end. I have a person who led the Miami Dolphins in receiving touchdowns, Jonnu Smith.
Oh, okay. Smith.
Jonnu Smith led the Dolphins in receiving touchdowns. I'll say it again.
Yep. Smith, okay.
Yeah, Chris, I'm seconding Joey here, Jonnu Smith. I mean, where you could get him. I mean, the guys that you could get, the other guys were all, I mean, obviously Bowers is probably the obvious choice, but I'm liking somebody you could get really good value. Jonnu Smith right here at 26.
Got Jonnu Smith off the scrap heap.
Yeah, so that's I mean, they're not even saying he's a tight end 2 going into the season. You're basically like, if I need 3 tight ends, I'm picking up Jonnu Smith, which is nobody.
Yeah. This is the first year Miami even uses tight end like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Buttons, who you got here as your tight end?
I do have Bowers here. He was probably tight end 10 through 12 before.
Yeah, he's at 12. He's at 12 in this one.
And he ended up being tight end 1. So I have Bowers here.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a no-brainer as far as what he was able
Bowers
to do.
had one more catch than McBride. McBride had 111 catches. Bowers had 112.
McBride went off when I said he never caught a touchdown, and he went off for 2. But he still.
I had Smith down as well. Fantasy stuff. But you know what? I'm gonna go with another guy who came through at the end of the year when he started off slow. Let's go with Andrews. Andrews at first, beginning of the year, everybody was scared to death. He still finishes tight end 6.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it looks like he had, out of all the tight ends, he had the most touchdowns. He had 11 touchdowns on the year. So,
and after your boy week 4, JB, he had 2 goose eggs in a row after week 4. He was dropped, and I'm in a lot of leagues, but he was dropped in 2 of
Why
my
are you
fantasy
dropping that
leagues
dude?
as well. I'm telling people just that tight end was just a
Two.
big,
Somebody dropped
big
the
crapshoot this year.
the big league I'm in. Somebody dropped him in that league too. I picked him up.
Yep.
And I lost Evan Ingram. I picked him up. So yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, hey. All right, here we go. Duds. Joe, who's your fantasy dud for the year, Joey?
JB, my fantasy dud for the year at quarterback is a young man that's trying to figure things out. A young man that had more interceptions than touchdown passes. A young man that had more incomplete passes than completed passes. A young man that took himself out of a game on his own because he was tired. Anthony Richardson. Who are you? What are you? Besides,
I'm tired.
He's a project, Joey.
Tired.
That's a rough project, JB.
Hey, he's a project that he's going to be a starter next year.
Yes,
and
he is.
Guess what? And somebody will draft him. They're gonna rank him in the top 12 because he can run. I'm just gonna let you know right now. Because of his running ability. He'll be ranked as a top 12 quarterback in fantasy if he's a starter next year. I promise you.
If he runs, he better not get tired.
He will, Buttons.
All
Yep.
right, who you got at QB?
I'm sticking with who I had my bust from the middle of the year. Dak killed me in fantasy, an MVP level.
Injury?
Yeah, but he wasn't that good to begin with.
Nah, he wasn't. He wasn't playing
Dak. He wasn't what. I mean, right now, if you look, he was the 10th ranked guy as far as coming into the season. He was all right, but he wasn't putting up those numbers like he was last year, even before the injury. So
He'll bounce back next year, Chris. No worries.
I hope so. I mean, obviously, he's done it a couple times where he's played at that high of a level. So I don't think he's done at all. I just think he
MVP last year, Chris.
Huh?
He was the MVP last year.
Yeah, I mean, he played like it. I mean, for sure, he definitely played like it. So I think I was drafting him hoping he would be that. I was very Dak heavy this year, and I had to pivot a little bit.
With Dak and CD heavy.
Yeah, I was very those two, and that wasn't fantasy goodness, as JB says.
Fancy goodness, man. All right. But who's your dud?
My dud, JB, is a CJ Stroud, who everybody thought might take that next step and be kind of an elite fantasy guy in his second year. He actually took a step back.
He ruined. He's the reason why C-Double had Barkley and Achane and couldn't make the playoffs because he had Stroud as his quarterback. So yeah, in a RB friendly league, he had Barkley and couldn't even get 6 wins.
Ooh.
And it happened to me too. I had think about this, Buttons, before I give you my dud.
Mm-hmm.
In the Friends and Family Superflex League, my 2 QBs were Stroud and Levis.
Oh boy.
God.
No wonder why I didn't make the playoffs, right? Hey, it happens.
Yeah,
Right?
what are you gonna do?
I tried to pull what I did the year before. It don't work every year. Last year I went I had Fields and Carr and won a chip.
Derek Carter?
This year, say what, Joey?
Derek Carter?
Derek Carter.
Derek Carter. Yeah, Derek Carter. That's right. The same guy who said he ain't taking no pay cut.
Yeah, I saw that.
He don't
Gotta
care
get
if they
paid.
go what the record is. He ain't taking no pay cut. He gonna get his cash.
Go find money elsewhere, not here.
All right. I had Richardson as well because at the beginning of the year, it's all everybody was talking about. Richardson. How he's going to run, he's going to do this. When he played, he had some decent games.
I mean, just because he can
Fantasy
run,
games.
he has good fantasy games for sure.
We're talking about fantasy though, Joe. We're not talking about real bat football.
We ain't talking about real world.
Listen, we talk about fantasy. We ain't worried about if they playing good. We're worried about if they getting us points.
You got
Yeah,
it.
give me them points.
You got it.
He finished as QB 25, so he wasn't even a QB. He
Ill.
wasn't even a QB2 for
But
the
he
year.
did miss a
He,
good
he
amount
had
of games.
a few good games, JB, but 1, 2, 3, 4,
You counting
5.
buttons.
I'm counting like 5 games where he didn't even score 10.
You counting buttons.
Average, if you look at average per games, Lamar crushed. But we can't. Yeah, some of them you got to take out. I'm looking. I did that. They got Milton and Garoppolo in here, but we don't count those guys. Anthony Richardson probably QB 18 points per game. So,
I mean,
anyway.
the thing is, if he's getting you like, there's multiple games he had 9, 10 or plus carries.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what killed. That's right there where you're like, all right, well, he'll make up for it. It's just when he turns the ball over too much. You're like, dude.
And he just, he's not a point compiler. Like if you don't get points for him running, you ain't getting no passing completions or yards.
He's not one of those guys.
That dude is completing like 43% of his passes. So
yeah, so it's so many questions now of him. First, he doesn't play enough, and then he turns the ball over amount, and he doesn't throw for big yards. He's got to score touchdowns on the run running the ball.
Definitely can't say he doesn't have quality receivers. He has a good receiver. Now, I think they need another tight end, probably a better tight end. But their 3 receivers are good receivers. Pierce, Downs, Pittman. That's a good group.
Be better, Richardson. Be better.
All right, running back. Who you got here, Joey?
JB at running back. Please put the name Kenneth Walker.
Oof,
it may not be Kenneth Walker's fault because he has injury problems. I mean, he does play the running back position, but we can't get a 100-yard game out of this guy. Kenneth Walker has been letting me down.
I was just trying to see what Kenneth Walker was looking at and points per game. Okay,
the backup is better.
The games he played, he was an RB1. Just FYI.
The backup is better.
No, he's not better.
Oh my!
No, that's a horrible take, Joey.
But
Charbonnet is not that good. Even in the last week, he ran for like 50 yards last week.
That's
by himself.
That's what Kenneth Walker runs for.
Let Joey have his opinion.
Yep,
that's what Kenneth Walker runs for.
Yep, got it.
Walker actually was having a nice year catching passes. I mean, how many games did he play? It's like he missed 6 games this year.
Yep.
Points per game, Joey, is better than your boy Chuba. That's my man, Chuba.
Walker is?
Points per game.
Oh, points per game.
And also, Chuba he doesn't have to split carries. Nobody's there.
At this point, Charbonnet and Walker are the same running back.
No, the only reason Charbonnet
that's Joey's butt. All right, who's your butt?
They are the same running back.
No way. I'll give you one where the backup is better and ended up taking it, and that's Rachaad White. That's a way where the running back, the backup comes in, is way better, and now it's no question who's the better running back.
Charbonnet
had it by himself the last couple of weeks. He's had it, and he's never done anything.
What has Walker done? That's my point. What has Walker done? Charbonnet and Walker are even.
In week 15, I believe.
They're even. That is a problem.
Hey, that's Joey's bust. That'd be his bust. Rachaad White.
This will continue. We already know that from
Rachaad White, man.
That is a problem.
Last year, Rachaad White was like a top 5 because of he had so much opportunity last year.
He had a lot of volume last year.
So much volume, right?
Yeah,
Catching and running. And this year, Bucky Irvin, who was my 4th pick in the dynasty draft,
a good
round
pick.
4, who next year is probably going to be a second-round draft pick in many drafts. That's a good pick by my part.
Yeah,
And
that's a good pick for a dynasty because that's really what you're doing in dynasty is especially with the running backs is just you're just trying to compile and see which one and you get the one who pops basically because you know those guys are all one or two of them every year of those younger rookies is gonna blow up and you're just hoping I just picked the right one.
Yeah,
that's really what you're doing because you know all of those guys have a lot of talent. Like Achane was the year before. This year is Bucky Irving. Like every year is probably a couple of those guys who are going to do that.
I need these one more back, man. I got Achane and Bucky Irving in my dynasty league.
You're good there.
I need some receivers and another running back. All right. Buttons. Who's your bust?
I'm gonna take a guy who in the first 3 weeks he was okay. After the first 3 weeks, he did not have a 10 or more point game until week 15. Travis Etienne.
Well, get out of my brain, bro.
Yeah, and he's another one where the backup might end up.
Etienne was the RB3 in fantasy last year.
Yep.
Chris, I had a feeling in our NFL league buttons, I could have kept Etienne. Guess what I did not do? I did not keep him. And guess who drafted him? C double. So C double had Etienne and Stroud.
Oh boy.
I was right after C double, and I was like, oh, please let Etienne fall to me because I knew it was running back heavy league or whatever. And then he took him, and then of course then I'm like, oh geez, because there was no more running backs at that point. It was like that was the end of the tier.
I had Etienne too, man. I mean, the only other player you can really go with here is a guy who many people were taking like the RB1, RB2, 3 in many of these leagues I saw, Breece Hall. Breece Hall definitely was a fantasy bust. He finishes RB 17. I mean, so yeah. Okay. I'm surprised nobody had Chase Brown or Chuba Hubbard as their fantasy stud, Joey.
I think did I have him go up? Who did I have earlier? Yeah, so I just tried to go.
Joey had Hubbard.
And I had Chase Brown, so we went there.
Yeah. All right. Wide receiver. Who is your bust? Joey, your bust.
JB, we're going to stay on the West Coast for my fantasy bust at wide receiver on the same team as the guy that should be the backup to Charbonnet. Let's go DK Metcalf.
Woo! DK Metcalf.
All right.
He started off as the RB4 after week 4. He got hurt and then he fell off the planet.
Completely. He need to stop lifting weights and get into the film room with the quarterback.
Who is the dude? Is it David Boston?
Yep.
Basically he just lifted himself out of the league. Remember he got too muscle bound and was like
LaRon Landry.
Yeah, LaRon Landry, same way.
LaRon Landry, man, he looked like a ogre almost. His arms were making his whole body. Like,
yeah, he was way too. Everyone always said he had beach body muscles. Like just got like he was trying to be a bodybuilder.
What are you doing, bro?
This one for me, I'm gonna go. I don't even know if maybe I should just say the 2 San Francisco wideouts because Ayuk and Samuels, both were horrible this year. Give me Samuels, I guess, because he played more games, but both of them were
the whole game, the whole year. Yeah, he was.
Ayuk was horrible too, but he at least has an injury as an excuse. Samuels is just done to me. After they paid him all that money, and now he's like, thank you.
Yeah, looked a lot bigger than he was. Metcalf. Speaking of Metcalf in points per game, he was only 34th. He only missed 2 games. So, I mean, he didn't really have a great season. Godwin was crushing it for 8
Yes, he
games.
was.
Well, I think with Metcalf and JSN have kind of flip-flop probably where
They
it's
have.
coming in next year. I think JSN is probably going to be like here you have Metcalf at 20, JSN at 40 coming into the season. So it's probably just going to be flip-flop now. And you
Listen,
knew eventually that would happen.
Next year, the formula for wide receiver, if you're in a redraft, is find the teams that have a good quarterback and a terrible defense. Listen, in points per game, Jamar Chase was 1. Pete Higgins was 5.
Yeah. And
Man.
the thing is, Higgins was like questionable because I feel like I had him in 2 leagues.
He missed 5 games.
He was questionable like every week.
Yep.
He missed 5 games.
But there were games where he would just, I think was it the finals maybe? He went off.
In a down year for CeeDee Lamb, he still was 7th in points a game, tied with Nico.
Yeah.
At 17.6. All right. But who's your dud?
This wide receiver was taken as a top 3 guy, and he finished, normally a top 3 guy, you want breakout games. He had over 20 points twice on the year, and he played every game. 2 20-point weeks, every single game started. Tyreek Hill.
Ugh,
Tyreek Hill finished as wide receiver 33 if you go by just by points per game. Per start. Yep. Terrible year for Tyreek Hill. All right. And he didn't want to play anymore. He said, I quit.
He's like, peace.
All right. Now this guy, he's probably going to bounce back. But I gotta get him because the hype had him going in the first round sometimes and in the early second, even though he haven't even touched a football field yet. I gotta go with Maserati Marv.
Oh, Maserati Marv.
He didn't live up to all of the hype. Ladd McConkey did better than him. Ladd, of course, Neighbors, of course, Thomas. Even McMillan started balling out at the end of the year.
Yeah, who else was that? Was there any other rookies that were Dunze? Where did he finish?
Dunze, he didn't do abs.
No.
Yeah, he wasn't there, Chris. He
Coleman missed too many games.
So when I just go by for points for the year, McConkey in a PPR he was almost a wide receiver. So you got, rookies. Ryan Thomas, number 4 in a PPR. Neighbors, number 6. Ladd McConkey, number 13. The next best rookie, you gotta go all the way down. Marvin Harrison was number 30.
Mm-hmm.
Played every game. Xavier Worthy was 33.
He's fast.
Yeah. Rome was 49. McMillan was 55. McMillan really didn't do nothing in the beginning of the year because he was behind Godwin and Evans for most of the year, but at the end he came on. So yeah, there you go. All right, tight end. Oh, this is going to be a good one. I should go with Buttons boy, but I'm not.
Why don't we just put them all in there, JB?
Really?
Tight end, listen. So tight end, man, it's a wasteland. It's a wasteland at tight end, bro. Your top 12 tight end averaged 9.1. He was a tight end 12. He averaged 9.1 points per week. So if you didn't have one of the big 3, or maybe Jonnu towards the end, or Mark Andrews, you were Jimmy cooked.
Yep.
Yes, you were.
Who you got a tight end, Joey? Who's your bust at tight end?
JB, my bust at tight end, it's not entirely his fault because his quarterback was no longer there. However, he still did not have a very good year. Your Jake Ferguson.
Woo! Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson finishes tight end 25. He finished behind guys like Austin Hooper, Will Disley, Noah Gray.
Now they got old Schoonmaker coming in, vulturing some receptions there. Give me Dalton Kincaid.
Oh, yes, Kincaid.
He was the 5th ranked tight end coming in on the one.
Finished as tight end 30.
Oof.
If you have the first name Dalton, you better be a beast.
That's it.
Bottom line.
All right. Who's your tight end?
It's like it's every year. Okay, we go around the carousel with this guy. People say, "Hey, it's going to be a different year. There's going to be a different year. He's got a new quarterback. He's got a quarterback that loves to throw the ball and blah blah blah." I'm convinced at this point that this guy just isn't that good. Kyle Pitts.
I knew you were talking about when you said it. He made the big catch against the Commanders, though.
Yes, he did.
Kyle Pitts' points per game was a whopping 7.7 PPR points per game. PPR points per game, people. That's points per reception. Do the math.
Not very good.
Do the math. Yeah.
Not good, JB.
Yeah, not good at all.
Good.
It's so crazy. Look at the tight end targets. Brock Bowers had 153 targets. McBride, 147. Travis Kelce still had 133.
It's a lot.
Jonnu had 111. All right. My bust, definitely Jake Ferguson. Son of a gun. All right. There we go. All right. Stop the share. There's our duds and studs. And then next year, we'll start off the year with our fantasy studs and duds for the year and see how it turns out. All right.
Studs and duds.
All right. Let's look at our, oh my God, the fantasy weekly points, which I crapped the bed. This right here will go down as the tightest race in the history of fantasy weekly points. Look at that margin of victory. 62.9 to 62.8.
Wow.
All because Chris made a mistake.
Multiples, actually. If I would have just had
like 21.7 that week.
Ooh.
If I would have just had like a random, because I did it 3 times. Button, you did it once.
I did do it once on a tight end. Yeah.
I did it on a quarterback, a running back, and 2 running backs.
Yeah. I did it like 5 times. I have to change my ways. I have to next year have a better spreadsheet system to realize.
Yeah, that's what
I suggest this, and this is a double suggestion for Joey, but I suggest you write it down and you keep it all year long, which is what I did. I just wrote down. I wrote down 18 weeks. I put quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, flex, and then every week I just check and make sure that it didn't happen twice.
Good job, Buttons.
It's a friendly suggestion. It's a friendly suggestion.
I went with the old spreadsheet out there. The color coded. When I started actually doing it, like I had a system down. So I think it'll work. It's just that wasn't great for me.
Buttons also pulled out the fantasy draft. He pulled it out. He was the first person to, even though me and Chris didn't do a sub, and I ended up having, I think the last week of the season, I had 1, 2, 3, 4 guys that didn't even play in week 18. That was awesome. But yep,
I probably should have just subbed out CMC week 1.
yeah, Chris, you didn't even sub out CMC, so you did a pretty good job. I mean, Allen was blowing up. I mean, I think Chase carried you, him and Barkley. I don't know why I took Debo down. He just trash. He just killed me. Debo and Tyreek.
Yeah.
They give me nothing. Nothing. Hey, Drake London finishes as wide receiver 7 on the year. It's a good season for him, man.
It was.
Number 5, actually. He's wide receiver 5. 100 receptions, 158 targets.
Seems to have a connection with Buttons Mans. Definitely seems like it.
Man, I want Penix, man. And Penix, Young, Dak, McCarthy. Come on over, Joey. Come on over. We waiting for you over here. Let's make a deal. All right. I think okay. So
we got over unders.
Yeah, I got it all. I got it all up here. So here is. Let me make sure what I have on here. This is what I put at. Oh yeah, my studs and duds. Over and unders. Can y'all see it? The over and unders right here. Y'all see it?
Yeah.
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
A lot of red.
That's that records right there. Me and Chris.
Oh.
18 out of 30.
Oh, we blew you guys out.
It was super close.
So
Super
close.
Ugh.
So which
So-
ones did we all miss? Oh, Vikings. Jeez.
Jets. I think we all were drinking the Buttons Kool-Aid. Hold on. I think I got one wrong, though.
Jets.
This one I got wrong.
Oh, we're all green on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That should be
Shake and bake.
19 and 13.
We would have made some decent money. We bet every one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have came out.
About $5.
It came out,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to spend,
Yeah.
what's that, 5? 32. So you're 32 times. So you're $160. You'd probably make you'd have made 7 or something.
Right.
And you'd have to sit there the whole season on it.
You would have been on the right side of it though.
I was definitely under Commanders. I know I was pushing that.
Got the Vikings wrong, and I think Chris had way under
Way under. Oh, gee.
for the Vikings. We all got the Bears wrong. They went on a 10-game or 11-game losing streak.
Uh-huh.
Man, hold on.
What was it? Texans. Which are the Bulls?
Hold on. Wrong too, right? The Texans got 10 wins or 11.
Oh man, we're
Right back.
Up.
You gotta tell the guy. That's why I sent y'all these links so I can double check my work.
I said way over, and what was theirs? 9.5, and you said they won 10.
They did finish 10 and 7. Did they or 11 and 6? Which one did they finish?
Texans.
I thought they got 10. Yeah, I thought it was 10. I'm not sure.
Hold on.
One.
Oh, what's the stat man at? Hey.
Texans were 10 and 7.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So we all got that right.
They weren't way over.
To the Bears' credit, okay, 7 of their losses were one possession games. I'm just throwing that out there.
Oh yeah. I mean, after that Hail Mary, man, they just went to crap.
God, that Hail Mary really burns me up still.
They had to watch the video of the guy who the safety back there talking to the other people when
Just
the ball
horrible.
is thrown.
Horrible.
Jaden Daniels is running around. He's walking over there talking to people. I'm surprised. If there'd have been Jimmy Johnson, he would have cut him.
Cut.
All right. So we got the Cardinals right. We all got the Chiefs. We got the Eagles.
Lock.
We all got the Dolphins.
Lock.
We all got the Bucks, Texans, Packers, Ravens.
Chiefs was free money at 11.5. Like, I mean, 11.5, you could have bet the house on that. Gee.
Yeah, really, you could have because of in the division they're in, basically.
I mean, I think that was a bad line. I mean, I think they just don't
It's
want
hard.
to
It's
put it.
hard to put them so like every year though, Chris. I mean, it's
Yeah,
hard.
I mean, I think that Vegas is probably like, look, we'll not get it. We can't keep raising it at like 12 and 13 games because nobody's gonna take it.
If
But
you
then
would
when
have
you get it too low,
if you would have literally bet your house on that, you'd have been sweating like almost every week.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh, because of the way that the games were played out, oh my gosh.
I feel like a line for them every year that's safer is probably 12.5 for Vegas.
Yeah.
It'd probably be 12.5 next year. Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, who else? Was anyone else way over? Like who else was missed it by a lot?
Joey
That's
had
like a
Joey had the Patriots way over
I had way over for the Jets.
the Jets.
well, I'm saying how many did the Niners win?
The Niners finished last.
Niners won 6, and that's a way big miss there.
Yeah.
Geez.
Yeah.
I'm looking. So the Niners, so in the West, it was Rams had 10, Seahawks 10, Cardinals 8, Niners 6. Cardinals were close.
That's gonna be a blessing in disguise for the
The
Niners.
Cardinals were 8.
You're playing that fourth place schedule for them.
Cowboys were at 10 and they went 7. Eagles were way over. Eagles had 14 and they had 10.5. That's
the league in general was bad this year. Like it was so many teams that lost like 13, 14 games.
Yeah.
Like here's our division winners. Joey got 7 out of Joey should have bet the house on these.
oh geez.
7 out of 8, right?
The only one you missed was what, the Niners?
We all missed that one.
Man, we all thought the Jets.
Yeah.
But-
Maybe sticking with the Cowboys,
Into it.
Not me.
except for Joey.
I knew what was happening in the AFC East.
Oh my goodness.
Not
I knew
me.
what was
I
happening
fell
there.
for the Jets and the Niners.
All right.
I'm surprised you didn't go Packers, Joey. You said Lions there.
Yeah. I almost did
Buttons.
go Packers.
All
So
right.
what's our NFC champs? JB, you better read out the Cowboys. That can't even happen now.
I'm done. Like I'm
We
damn.
got AFC. Oh my goodness.
I'm done. You guys, I don't have a chance to even sniff a team in there.
I'm feeling real good about mine.
Take that 49ers out. Yeah.
Lions, Chiefs, Eagles. Okay. Looking pretty good.
Oh, but we all picked the Niners. Okay.
Yeah, we did.
All right. Y'all ready? MVP, Buttons. Who you got? Is it Allen or Jackson or Barkley?
The MVP of the league, JB, should be Josh Allen. And
Ah!
I realize that to me, statistics for this award are not everything. Because if they were, there wouldn't be a voting committee and you would just have a computer spit out an MVP every single year. So let me give you a couple points just real quick on why I think that it's Josh Allen. His team does not have a 1,000-yard receiver. His team barely had a 1,000-yard running back. He is working with far less weapons, to me, than Lamar Jackson. He led his team to the 2nd overall seed. I'm just saying, JB. I'm just saying.
I'm listening to you.
He has to be the MVP. This guy bleeds Buffalo. He just bleeds Buffalo. He gives his heart and soul every single week. I watch every single game, as you guys know.
Mm-hmm.
His heart and soul is on that field. He so much wants to bring a championship to this organization. He loves this organization to his dying, to his bones.
So, can I just interject? This
Yep.
is something my wife always tells me. What does his love for the Buffalo Bills have to do with the price of tea in China? Please,
It doesn't, JB. Okay.
the MVP.
To me, I think if you take Josh Allen off of the Bills and you take Lamar Jackson off of the Ravens, you get very similar situations and records, but I think the Bills are worse.
What is happening with Buttons making a play for Josh Allen? What the heck?
All right,
What's
so
the
this
world
is.
coming?
All right, I'm gonna say I'm gonna keep
Good
my
question,
I'm
Chris.
gonna keep my Lamar Jackson part very simple for everybody to understand. Lamar Jackson has won the MVP already twice, right?
Yes.
This is his best year statistically that he's had. And his team is still 12-5. Had a slow start. They started off, what, 0-2. Lamar is the clear MVP. He probably won't win it because of how things happen. It's the same reason why the Joker didn't win it the year Embiid won it.
He should have won it that year, JB. And last year, Lamar shouldn't have won it. We all agree about that, right?
I know. That should have won it.
No.
Say Christian McCaffrey. I know what you said. I say Dak.
But
McCaffrey, okay? But I understand.
Yep.
All right. Chris, who's your MVP?
I'm gonna go Allen. I think Jackson probably should win it. I'm gonna go Allen for voter fatigue.
Oh my God! So you're gonna pick the guy who's you don't put a Joey move. All right, Joey, who you got?
JB, Lamar Jackson,
Ah,
and Josh Allen,
oh!
co-MVP.
yeah.
Now, that has happened before.
Why not again?
When's that happened?
They have tied.
2003.
They did tie one year, JB.
What year was this?
Aaron McNair and Peyton Manning.
Correct. Yep.
Wow.
You know what, Joey? That is a great take, and that actually might happen. You might be right.
Okay.
Co.
All right. All right. This is probably a tough one. Who is the defensive player of the year? Who do y'all think?
To me, I think it's Watt. With if you look at the statistics of the Pittsburgh Steelers with Watt and without Watt, they are staggering. To me, it's Watt.
All right. I'm gonna go with somebody that you're gonna get very familiar with this weekend, Buttons. I'm gonna go with Patrick Surtain. The lockdown.
Yeah, I'll join you. It says I got actually reading some things on it. It says of all corners with at least 600 coverage snaps, he placed first in receptions allowed, yards allowed, and yards per reception, and second in passer rating when targeted.
And if you beat him, he just tackles you.
And the Broncos defensively are really good.
Did y'all know that? If you beat him, he would just tackle you. You're not scoring on him.
I mean, it makes sense.
Surtain's great.
Yes, he is great.
I mean, I
was thinking Hendrickson from the Bengals too, because that's all they had, but they didn't make the playoffs. So
he was dominant though.
Yeah.
If
Joey,
Watt,
you got Surtain too?
If Watt wasn't
yes,
in the
JB.
game, if Watt wasn't in the game, JB, you wouldn't be seeing Pittsburgh in the playoffs.
I believe.
Standard.
I did have Watt as my mid-year, but hey.
That's a Nick Saban guy.
Offensive player of the year, midway we had Derrick Henry. Has there been a change?
There has been, JB.
Buttons had Jackson, he flipped it to Allen. What a bum. Go ahead, Buttons.
There has been JB. This man, again, $12.5 million. 12.5 million reasons why he should have stayed in New York. Saquon Barkley is the offensive player of the year.
I got him too.
I'll go Barkley. I think clean sweep Barkley here.
Yeah.
All right. Coach of the year. We had Harbaugh, Quinn, and Quinn.
I had Harbaugh, JB, at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's what it says, Buttons. That's what the records say.
You know, I'm going to go with the guy who took a rookie quarterback to the playoffs.
Ooh, which one is it?
And not that fool's gold up in Washington. Sean Payton. Mark it down.
Sean Payton. I'm going to go with Dan Campbell. And the reason why is the Lions finished 15-2. They held the defense together with tape. Not that good tape either. They're using that masking tape.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they held it together. And I gotta give Campbell props, man. They play for that guy. Who you got, Chris?
Give me Kevin O'Connell. I saw teams were talking about trading for him.
I know, right?
Which is crazy, but
did the Broncos trade for?
They traded for Peyton, yeah. But I mean, that's a team where all of us picked to go under. I was way under. They came down to. They could have had the number 1 seed playing in the last week.
You had the number 1 seed in the NFC, and the NFC would have to go through Viking land. All right, Joey.
I'll keep the coach who's in Washington, who's coaching the other rookie quarterback, the soon-to-be offensive rookie of the year. A team that what was their overall win total that Vegas said they were going to?
They were 6.5. They doubled theirs almost.
That's the clear coach of the year in the NFL.
What was Denver's over-under?
Probably the same. Commanders
6.5.
5.5.
Those 5.5.
Oh, okay, Buttons. Okay, Buttons.
Offensive rookie of the year. Is it you going with Nix or Daniels? Or Bucky Irving?
JB, see, the thing is, I hate this. I hate the MVP discussions. I hate all these discussions because these have turned into quarterback awards. It irks me so much. I know a quarterback is like the most important position on your team. I understand. Okay. Now, I'm rooting for Brock Bowers. I think this is a lock, a landslide. It has to be Jayden Daniels. I'm picking Jayden Daniels to win because that's just the logical pick. If it were me as a voter, I would pick Brock Bowers.
Ooh, okay. Brock Bowers broke Hookah's record, man. Man, that's a good one. I like that Brock Bowers. I got to go with Jayden Daniels. Covering 5, looking like a Lamar Light in the NFC. Could be a problem for my team for years to come. Even though if you watch that last game, Parsons sacked him twice to start the game. When that first drive, he said, take him out. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Daniels. Who you got here, Chris?
Yeah, I'm going Daniels. I mean, for me, Buttons, Daniels, that team really didn't change a whole lot. Obviously, Quinn, but
yes, it did.
You put him on there, and they completely
had a whole turnover. Chris,
Chris. Oh, are you kidding? They
all right, of their main players.
Of their main players. Look at Lou Vu. They brought in Lou Vu. They brought in that other
Bobby Wagner.
They brought in those 2 guys as well.
But still, I'm saying of those guys, how many of those guys are even Pro Bowl level players? Bobby Wagner's not that guy anymore.
Bobby, what?
He's not an all pro level player. Jaden Daniels is an all and rookie year comes in, and you're telling me if they start who's the dude they had last year? Sam what's his name?
Ow. Joey's
Sam
boy.
Howell.
And now if he's still there, they're 12-win team. Brock Bowers, as great of a season as he has, what does he do for the Raiders? There's no way in the world you could take Bowers over Daniels. It's like
Guys,
when in
like,
sports
a lot of
betting,
those wins, Chris, a lot of those wins that Jaden Daniels won for them were lucky.
it's like in sports betting
They
when
should have lost to the Saints. They should have
Who's
lost to
no-
the Saints. They should have lost to the Bears as
I
well.
agree. I think they are a little bit overrated, but I think that when Vegas is making the line and there's Mahomes or the elite quarterbacks are missing, they're taking off 4 or 5 points. If Brock Bowers misses, they may take off 1 point. That tells you they're the value of the position.
Bobby Wagner led the team in tackles. Led
He's
the
good.
team in tackles.
But I'm saying he's not a difference maker of 6 games. One guy is. Brock Bowers is not 6 games better for them.
I mean, but does that qualify? I mean, so for you,
I mean, I'm saying it's almost always going to be a quarterback
That's your
position.
qualifier, Chris, for rookie of the year.
I'm saying, yeah, it's almost always going to be a quarterback.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. So if there's a rookie that gets 1,200 yards and over 100 receptions,
Because of the importance
that
of the
doesn't matter
position.
because he didn't take his team to next level heights, right?
Because of the importance of the position, I think it's now pretty much almost always going to be a quarterback that gets the award. Unless something crazy happens where no quarterback, like the Will Levis year, like that kind of year.
Who won the offensive rookie last year?
I can't even remember.
CJ Stroud,
Probably
Ah,
so. Yeah,
probably.
Stroud definitely would have.
Wow, yeah.
maybe.
I think it's the inherent is just now that award is going to be. I'm not taking anything from Bowers. I think that it's just that award itself is now. It's got to be a weird year, like the Kenny
Next year-
Pickett year.
Like next year gonna be a weird year
Yeah, like next year I could see like a guy not winning it
unless somebody goes to
unless Cam Ward or Shador goes off or something.
one of the other rookies goes off.
he passed for 25 touchdowns, Chris. I mean, I don't know.
Who you got here, Joey, as your offensive rookie of the year?
Jaden Daniels.
All right. Buttons, defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah. I have Curse here, JB.
You have Verse.
Verse.
Yeah, Verse,
Yeah.
not Curse, Verse.
All right. I have his teammate who had more sacks than him and balled out. I have Fisk, his Florida State teammate. That's who I have. And they're going to be coming for
I'll go Verse here, but both of them are good. I mean, I think Fisk Verse probably was a little bit more consistent than Fisk. I think Fisk had some real big games. And Verse was good all the way through, which is why we all had him. He's been dominant that level all the way through.
I will keep him there too, JB.
All right, there we go.
Rams look good on the defensive end, young, like they got a lot of young guys.
Yeah, that's that trade coming back for them to help them. All righty. Who is our comeback player of the year?
You know, JB, I'm a Joe Burrow fan. However, this guy, he was written off. He was on, and then they brought him into this franchise, and the over-under on this team was abysmal, and he blew it out of the water. I don't know how he did it, to be honest. I mean, maybe it's because he had a lot of weapons, but something is in the water in Minnesota. My comeback player of the year is Sam Darnold.
Did they change the rules though? Like you gotta be hurt.
You have to be?
Like they changed the rules on that. Like you had to be coming from an injury.
What the heck? That's
That's weird.
It is.
I mean, I guess I have to take Joe Burrow then, JB, if that's the case.
That's their rules.
All right. Our rules don't apply, I guess. So I'm taking Sam Darnold because he came out of nowhere and led the Vikings to 13
Yeah,
wins.
it says that the spirit of the ward is coming back from resilience
Yeah,
of
like
an
adversity
injury.
or something, you know?
It has illness, physical injury, or other circumstances that led them to missing playing time the previous season. For example, Sam Darnold, all he did was he was the backup to Brock Bowers.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, but you want to go Darnold? You can have Darnold.
I'm going Darnold.
he doesn't care about no
Don't
spirit
care.
award.
I mean, I don't care. I don't care if all these
care.
awards are quarterback
I'm going
awards either,
Dobbins
obviously. So.
because I mean you could go Burrow because he hurt his wrist, but I'm going. They better not give it to Burrow, but they probably will because they love the quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm
Clearly.
going Dobbins.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Dobbins.
I love
also.
that pick too, JB. I love that pick.
I'll go Dobbins here. I had
Joey-
Cousins. He fell off the freaking cliff.
Dobbins, you ain't going Cousins.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, he was a perfect pick at the middle of the year, and he just fell off.
I think we picked him right after he played Tampa Bay for the second
We
time.
picked him the hot game, and then he.
Yeah.
All right, real quick.
Yep.
Here is our NFL team draft results. Red means no playoffs. White means you had a winning record and didn't make the playoffs. I'm the only one that has two teams with winning records and didn't make the playoffs. And yeah, Chris and Buttons with those Commanders and Vikings picks kind of did pretty good there. Joey pretty much had the worst pick out of the bunch with the 49ers.
Oof.
Best pick had to be the Vikings because that was the last pick before we went to the last round.
Man, I was like way under on them too.
Yeah. You had the Vikings and they went 14-3.
Joey has 5 teams
5.
to make the playoffs, but none of them are the big dogs.
No, they aren't.
Or are they?
Maybe. Yeah. Man, the Bills went in round 3.
Duh.
There were 9 teams that had 12 or more losses.
Ooh.
Look at
That's
the Browns.
brutal.
What's the worst pick is the Browns?
The worst pick is the 49ers.
Niners is number 1. Then
Yeah.
the Jets, I guess, and the Falcons.
Yeah, the Jets. I should have said the Bills. I was drinking the Buttons Kool-Aid. I want to say the Jets. I wanted to beat them to the Jets. And what happens? I pay the price.
Who won 23? Who picked the winners in the last one?
You won the Jets. It's been you, dude.
Oh, I just wanted to know. I actually didn't remember that. I really didn't remember that.
21, 22, you had the Rams. And then the last 2 years, you are the one who, for some reason, I picked the freaking Chargers instead of the Chiefs right there. I don't know what I was thinking. I need to be drug tested, like Bud's like to say. I need to be drug tested back in 22, 23. And last year, Buttons joined the fold. And Chris had the first pick. The Chiefs went 11-6 and still won the Super Bowl.
Too easy.
There we go.
So this year, the Chiefs will not win because I picked the first. It'll be somebody else that'll win the Super Bowl.
Joey, they were 11 and a half was their line. Over under.
Yep.
I think I took the way over.
All 3 of the 4 of us, I think, took way over.
We all went way over.
Way over.
I said you could have bet the house on
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all you guys took the way over.
Way.
Yep. All right. I think we got just 2 things before the delusional picks of the week. All right. Playoff rankings for our teams. All righty. I'm going to start the party off, and I'm going to go with the team of destiny. I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions.
Are we
It's gonna be their year.
starting from number 1, JB?
I can start from the bottom for you, Buttons. I can go from the bottom to the top from you, my friend.
I mean, because number one essentially is our Super Bowl predicting winner.
Yeah. So you probably go from the bottom then.
Okay.
I say Buttons. I can do it either way, my friend.
Okay. All right.
I'm what my dad say. He say he's versatile. He meant to say versatile.
Versatile.
I'm gonna say you gotta be versatile, Jason. I'm like, okay.
That's right. You take that. Because that's a
what,
legend
Joey?
you're talking to.
The legend, Mr.
That's
Brown.
a legend you're talking to.
Hey,
take that.
You think I corrected him?
No, sir. But
I said, okay.
Okay, sir.
I said
Okay,
I
sir,
got
I know what you mean
versatile.
by
I
that.
didn't correct it, but I said what he meant. But anyway, all right. At number 14, the team I think is limping into the playoffs the most. I'm gonna go with the Texans. All right, Joey, who you got here? Yeah, that versatile Joey.
That is a legend. Oh my goodness.
Wait till I send y'all the video he had me make of him talking to everybody in the survivor pool.
Oh, jeez.
Wait, send it ASAP.
I'll send it.
Joey will love that thing.
Do you know how bad I wanted that damn survivor pool to end?
Oh man.
And my dad was calling me almost every day about it.
Oh yeah.
Your phone rings. You're like, here we go.
He was like, oh man. I mean, these guys are gonna.
The man has a strategy, JB, every year, and it's working.
Yeah, it's working. They're gonna hate my guts. They're gonna think you cheating. I was like, man, no, they're not.
Oh boy. What a legend. Oh my goodness.
All right, Joey, who you got here?
I just want to spend a 24-hour period with him.
No, you don't.
Great 24 hours. Yes, I do.
I tell you what, if you ever want to spend time with him, you better take some work boots with you. Because you're going to work. I can tell you that.
I'm ready to work.
Work and knowledge.
Because you know, yeah, he knowledge. He's going to tell you this one thing. He's going to say, you know what? Well, nobody want to work. I can do that.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear.
He's going to say, don't nobody want to work. Trust me.
I need to hear it. JB, I will be taking the Denver Broncos.
Okay.
Wow.
They stand no chance going to Rich Stadium, but stop it.
Oh my goodness.
No chance.
Speaking of no chance, give me the Steelers here. That's the standard. Make it in and get bounced.
With bad players.
I'll agree with that. I'll say Tomlin does more with less than everyone else, but so did Gary Williams.
Absolutely.
All right. Buttons. I'm sorry. Yeah, Buttons, who you got here?
This one is so easy, JB. The Washington football team.
Oh, geez.
Okay. All right.
Fool's gold up there.
You got a 13. You don't like it.
Bounced round one. It's a wrap.
Oh, you're not gonna like my bet tonight, but you're not gonna like my lock tonight.
Number 13, JB, is the Houston Texans.
When y'all get a chance, I want y'all to see how Texas A&M beat South Carolina tonight.
Okay.
This dude did a step back and made a dude fall for the game winner. Step back three, made him fall down. I think he made him fall down and the guy behind him fall down too.
Mikael Minor. That's what he did last year in the state playoffs, AA. And one 3-point shot.
Double A? Don't
Mm.
matter. Go ahead. I'm talking about double A. Go ahead. You got here,
Double
Chris.
A.
He's a bad boy, JB.
He
I'm sure he
transferred
is.
to, he's at he transferred to Bishop O'Connell, so he's definitely
Oh, he mad. Okay. He one
give
play
me Denver here.
the Broncos.
There you go, Chris.
Broncos gonna go to the up to the stadium. Hey, Nets gonna ball out. Have Button sweating. Gonna have a tight.
He
like,
hit buttons will be fine.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
JB, the fantasy season ends for Baker Mayfield here. Please give me Tampa Bay.
Oh
Ooh.
my God.
All right. I
Buttons.
got
Where's my kit?
a drug test.
we got the Steelers here.
There we go.
All right. So let's see.
There we go.
Who else this weekend gonna take an L? Let me see. Home. Hey, the Broncos. The Broncos gonna get beat. The Bills. The MVP is going to show up.
That's for sure.
Gonna get his neck ready for the Ravens to come in the next week.
And stomp his ass.
JB,
right. I'm listening.
I don't like the body. I don't like what's happening here right now because I don't think he is completely healthy. Put the Packers there, please.
Packers, okay.
They don't have a healthy quarterback.
All right. Your son gonna be mad at you, but go ahead, Chris.
Give me the Rams.
Rams, okay. All right.
Losing this many games in a row is not a good look. Steelers
going in. They limping in. They lost 4 hot, and they facing probably the hottest team in the league right now. Everybody got the Ravens are rolling. Who you got right here, bud?
I've got the Rams right here, JB, number 11.
Hey, we got the Rams. You think the Rams gonna take an L from the Vikings? Okay, Chris.
Give me Chargers.
Chargers.
Not
Okay.
sold on the Chargers.
All right, so you believe in the Texans. I got you.
At home.
Not a favorite.
JB, I will take
Still, but
I will take the Steelers here.
Ooh, the Steelers.
the fact that you even think they have a shot is crazy.
They got a shot. They got a shot.
Let's see. Broncos, Steelers. I'm gonna go with the Commanders here.
Good pick, JB.
I really believe in. I mean, aren't the Bucks? Are the Bucks one of the only teams in the NFC that beat the Eagles and the Lions this year?
And lost to the Falcons twice.
Don't
forget that week 1 victory, JB, over that them fools gold up there.
I didn't forget it. Baker had 4 cutties that game. 4 of them. All right, let me see. Let's see. I got the Steelers, Texans, Broncos, Commanders. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, the Packers. Eagles gonna. Yeah, the Packers don't got no. They're a running team. Their quarterback, what is he don't do much.
JB, please put the Chargers here.
Chargers, okay. So you got the Texans ranked high too. The Texans in your top 8. Okay. All right.
Give me Washington here.
All right, the Commanders. All right.
JB, the Denver Broncos defensively rank 3rd in the league in points per game, and they also rank 10th in the league in offensive points per game. There's no respect here. I'm putting the Broncos here.
Broncos. The Broncos. You got a number 8. Number 9 buttons.
Number 9, I have the Packers. I really did not like the Packers draw here. I really, really, really wanted Washington to lose that game last week. It would have been so sweet because I like the Packers.
Dallas to score in the red zone.
Yeah, I like the Packers. I really do like the Packers, and here's why: 6th in points per game defensively, 8th in points per game offensively. This team has it all. They have a banged up quarterback, though. I have to put him at number 9.
Got it.
Give me the Texans here.
Texans, okay.
Some faith, not a lot.
Hold
In the Texans?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be, that's pretty much still a coin toss. I mean, it's close for me.
Got you. All right. The Texans.
JB,
I'm more because they're heading.
I'm going to please put the Vikings there for me.
The Vikings.
Ooh.
I'm going with the
probably
Vikings too, because I think the Vikings are going to take an L to the Rams in LA. I'm going to go with the Rams at number 8.
I will put the Rams at number 8 as well.
Beat by the no round taker. You hear the song I was singing, Joey?
Say that again.
I was beat by the no rhyme taker.
Who's that?
That's an old school song.
80s or late or early
80s.
90s?
80s.
Oh goodness. 80s. You got to tell me. You got to let us know who
Yeah, look it up. I'm gonna look up and say it to you.
Okay.
Give me. Wait, so is the Packers? No, that's wrong then. The one I'm looking at has a wrong. So give me Vikings here.
MC Shan, Joey.
MC Shan. You said Shan, JB.
So nice, I want to say, man, I got to hear that drop. It must be sick. I feel sorry for the thing that really makes me sad. I'm touring up the battle that they never had.
I know that song. I know that song. There we go. Sound like LL Cool J a little bit. All right, who you got right here, Buttons?
Shake and bake, JB. I'm taking the Bucks.
Yeah, bake. Got it. The Bucks. Okay. All right, you got number 7.
Go Chargers, go.
You got who?
Chargers.
Chargers going to charge this year?
Yep.
Give me.
Chargers win. They go to Kansas City. That could be a little tasty.
Give me the Bucks.
Have a Harbaugh Bowl this year in the. It could be a Harbaugh Bowl, maybe.
Give me the Bucks.
Bucks. You got Joey at number 7.
Let me make sure I'm following this correctly.
Who you got left?
Chargers. Hold on real quick. Just making sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You haven't done anything crazy yet, Joey.
Nothing crazy yet. You're right.
As always, Chris helping him out.
But I didn't help him there. I just said he's on. At least he's on pace to be all right.
Hey, JB here. JB, will you scroll down a little bit, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Chargers, Vikings. Damn, where am I confused? How many more teams do we have left?
7.
So right now, let me see who you got.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You got the 3 teams in the West, right?
6. Not them. Houston.
So you have 4 in the West, 2 in the.
All right. So he's got the Texans.
Yeah, Texans.
Gotcha.
Who you got here?
Texans.
Texans. Oh, and Joey, the song I was singing actually was the one from MC Light. Beat by the dope style taker.
Okay.
Tell you to your face, you ain't nothing but a faker. That's the MC Light one. But you was biting off me, taking my teams. Biting. All right. I got the Chargers here. Then I got Shake and Bake, baby. Shake and Bake. Shake and
1,
Bake.
2, 3, 4, 5.
So Joey, you have
He's got the top 3 in the West. The Eagles and Lions, that's 5.
Go ahead, Chris, help him out.
And the Commanders.
Go ahead and lead him
Oh.
right to the to the fresh milk.
Hey, will you please put Texans at 6 and Commanders at 7?
Oh my goodness.
Only for you, sir.
Buttons
Only
loves that.
There we
Give
go.
me the Packers at 6.
Oh, okay.
I'm staying away from the Lion side.
Okay. So you got the Packers. Oh, okay.
How could you?
Basically, for me, it's just going to be those 3 teams. Whoever gets into the line comes
They're
out.
doing his rankings buttons. He's the only one that don't have his losers from the first round. So he's just ranking them the way he wants to.
Yeah, okay, that's okay. That was confusing to me. I got you.
Yep.
I did it kind of like I broke down my rankings, JB, by rounds, and then
I got you. I did too.
yeah, okay, I got you. I got you.
So and we're all okay.
All right.
It's okay.
All right, I got you, JB. like my top 4 will be my AFC championship and my NFC championship. You know what I mean? Okay, I got you.
That's not what the rules said, though.
I thought that
I mean,
that's what it
really,
said.
there is no.
I thought
There
that's
really
what it
is
said.
no rules. I think it's more if you did Super Bowl odds and you're giving it like
Super
to
Bowl
me,
odds.
who would you like? They could come out from the same side, so I'm gonna end up having.
Yeah, okay. All right. So we just
I'm
did
gonna
it.
have one team lower.
I did
The
it differently.
Packers do have like good Super Bowl odds though. Like
So, like to
compared
me, I'm saying I think it's going to be the Lions coming out. So I don't want any team that's facing the Lions because I don't think anyone's going to beat the Lions. So the Vikings to me were lower, even though if it drew the other way, I probably would have had the Vikings higher. See what I'm saying?
I understand.
So
Let's
I'm
go.
keeping every team that's in the opposite side of the Lions.
Joey got to go to work tomorrow.
I got you.
Sorry.
Okay. I'm sorry. JB, I have the
Losing the picks,
Vikings at number 6.
Vikings. Okay.
And then I have number 5. I have the Buffalo Bills.
All righty.
I got the Eagles here.
Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. All right.
Ravens, JB.
Disrespect.
Oh my goodness.
You know how Joey is. Last year we were arguing about Lamar in the playoffs. That's
All
a
right.
every year argument for me and
I'm gonna go
Joey.
with the Bills right here.
Good pick, JB.
I'm gonna go with the Bills. I'm gonna go with the Eagles right here. Joey.
Bills, JB.
We're gonna have his top 3 teams be NFC teams.
Give me the Chiefs.
Like for the Chiefs, huh?
What'd you say?
Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs.
Oh, the Chiefs.
You misspelled Bills. Number 4, JB, I have the Detroit Lions.
Oh, Lions at number 4. Okay.
The
Okay.
defense in the playoffs, JB, is very questionable. They're making the NFC Championship, but no further than that.
Oh, sorry about that, Mr. Pelty.
Number 3, JB, I have the Ravens.
The Ravens. I know he is somewhere asleep. Mr. Pelty, love his Lions, him and Casey.
Yes, they
Give
do.
me the Lions here.
All right, Joey.
Lions, JB.
Nobody likes the Lions. Give me the Ravens here. Give me the Chiefs. The Chefs, the Chiefs. Joey.
Eagles, JB.
Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Give me the Bills here.
Damn.
I think whoever comes out of the AFC wins the Super Bowl.
All right.
So to me, those two have the better odds.
Eagles. Chiefs. 3
I'll go
times.
Ravens.
Ravens? Okay, then, right? Oh, that was a mistake.
Mistake.
That was a mistake. What did I just do? There we go. Joey?
Chiefs, JB.
Chiefs. The knee biters. The kneecap biters, baby.
Yes.
They bite kneecaps, baby. They biting them. All right.
Yes.
We're gonna see how it goes. Hey, fantasy play. Hey, the playoffs. Who you got, Joey? Chargers, Texans.
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 Texans. Chargers. I know Bunny got the Chargers too.
Thank you, JB.
All right. I think we all have the Ravens.
Ravens.
And the Ravens said, nevermore. 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 Broncos, Bills, Joey, who you got?
Come on, JB.
And we all got the Bills?
Bills.
Bills.
We all got the Bills. Okay. All got the Bills. Packers, Eagles. We all got the Eagles?
Eagles.
Eagles.
You know it, JB.
Yeah, I just want to make sure, yeah. Shake and bake time, baby.
Yeah.
Joey does not. I got the Bucks.
Joey got the Commanders?
Yes, sir, JB.
Oh my
Right.
goodness.
We all, me, Buns, and Chris, all got shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake.
4
Give me the
tutties. But
Vikings and Rams. Joey.
Rams.
I got Vikings. Oh, Joey, sorry. Vikings.
Got the Rams.
Vikings.
Ooh, okay, we got a little split on that one. All righty.
There we go.
There we go. We did it. Hey, and one thing I'm gonna put it on here too, and I'm gonna send this to you guys tomorrow. We're gonna do a one and done. We're gonna do a one and done kind of draft. Not a draft. You can pick. We're gonna do a quarterback. We'll do 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and you can be any players you want to, but you're gonna have them the whole playoffs. So your quarterback better be somebody that's who you think is going to be in Super Bowl. And
Okay.
all right, so you want to get at least,
Or at
your
least two or
goal
3
probably,
rounds.
your goal is to probably at least get 3 games in.
Yep.
Okay, so you can go because it's going to add up all the points from the
But
whole.
this is like we're doing it per position, right?
No,
And
no, no.
can we pick anybody, JB, or is it
Anybody.
okay?
It's
So
you can
so
pick,
if I pick Lamar, you can
and
pick
I pick Lamar.
that's
Yes.
okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So
easy. I already have him ranked, JB. But
Buttons can do it right now.
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna send you this the stuff for it, and then you can just send it. You can either put it on the sheet or send it to me. Either way. All right, and we'll see how the scores fall for the playoffs. And last but not least, let me go ahead and shut this down before we get Joey's delusional picks of the week. Buttons, you got the first of the year Buttons minute of learning for us tonight.
JB, I don't look. I can't guarantee I'm going to have a moment of learning every week. I just can't. However, there was a lot of discussion this week, okay, about a certain player that I hate on, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Often.
I hate often on him. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I think he's a Hall of Very Good. And I wrote down a lot of stats. You see all this? You see all this writing here? This is all me, all week long, just for Chris. Okay. And the fans. And I'm going to explain to you why we should not give a flying whatever about 1,000-yard season. Okay.
Hold on. Are you hating on my man's Michael Evans? Is this what we're doing?
Hater.
All a very good, JB. Okay.
Oh.
And here's why. Okay. The numbers speak for themselves. How easy is it to get 1,000 yards in a season? Let me count the ways. And let me count the ways on how the NFL has drastically changed. And it's 10 times easier now to get 1,000 yards in the NFL than it was way back when, even when Jerry Rice was playing the game of football. 70 to 79. Now, what I did is I took every single year and I wrote down how many 1,000-yard seasons there were. All right, with the players.
Okay.
And then I took the average of over the decades of how many there was in those decades every year. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay.
We tracking.
1970 to 1979. There was an average of 3 1,000-yard years every year. So only 3 people did it between 70 and 79. Okay, got it? Between 1980 and 1989, it jumps to 13. Not too bad. 1990 to 1999, 17. 2000 to 2009, 21.
Yeah.
21 guys got 1,000 yards. I mean, is that an accomplishment or just something that's required of wide receivers these days, right?
Again, what years?
2000 to 2009, 21 guys had 1,000 yards. Great accomplishment, right?
Hold on. So from are you telling me from
no, JB, every year, every single year, every year. So JB, what I did is in 2000, 18 guys had 1,000 yards. In 2001, 25 guys had 1,000 yards.
The average for the whole.
And then I did the average. I did the average of the decades. Okay. 2010 to 2019 jumps up one more to 22. And now the small sample size of 2020 to 2024, 24 guys averages every year to have 1,000 yards. Great accomplishment, right? Now, I'll even break it down even more. During Jerry Rice's years of 96 to 86, the average is 14. Mike Evans' years, 24 to 14, 23 guys. Now, you might ask, well, I mean, these are great accomplishments, but let's look at where do you think Mike Evans ranked every single year that he got 1,000 yards? Pretty good, right? You would think, right?
Okay.
Here's the numbers. 19th, 11th, 4th, 15th, 3rd, 13th, 18th, 23rd, 13th, 9th, 23rd. He has 2 top 5 finishes in receiving yards in 11 years. Now, let me just show you what Jerry Rice did. First, second, first, third, first.
You're
fourth.
talking about the best ever.
Yeah. So
that's my Hall of Fame, Joe. That's my Hall of Fame, Joey.
That's the greatest football player of all time, arguably.
The best. Only the best. Only the best.
There are roughly 550 receivers in the NFL right now. 24 of them went for 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
24 of them.
But hang
He's
on.
done it every year.
It's 32 teams, Joey.
He's done it every year.
Which means there's 32 number 1 wide receivers. And over half of them got 1,000 yards. They
haven't all done it.
They should get 1,000 yards every year.
They haven't all done it every year.
They should get 1,000 every year.
They should, but they don't.
Yeah.
You
right.
also got
Mike Evans got 1,000 yards because the other
team but the 1,000 yards
they couldn't convert a 4th down conversion, and Tampa Bay got the ball. And instead of winning the game, instead of guaranteeing them winning the game, they threw a pass to a guy who needed 5 more yards to complete a stupid generic record that nobody should give a hoot about these days, because I just laid out all the stats to you, black and white, clear as crystal, as to why it doesn't matter.
Hey, Buttons. So you telling me they had a chance to get a man $3 million for his
They could have given it to him anyway, JB. They should have. They should have given it to him anyway, JB.
So you're saying that Mike Evans is not Hall of Fame worthy?
Holy moly.
That's the question. That's the real question here. Because we can go into the Hall of Fame and grab a few Hall of Famers and say, why is he in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, I 100% agree.
Right?
105 touchdowns.
The touchdowns is what separates.
The touchdowns are big. They're big.
That's what separates him, is 1, the consistency, 2, that if you now take away and you say, okay, of those 20 every year, how many now are getting 7 to 8 plus touchdowns? And now it starts to minimize.
7th all time in touchdown receptions.
So it's consistency.
He's getting
1,000 yards and then touchdowns. That's what's doing it. Is he's building a resume.
How dare you, buddy?
The average Hall of Famer has 86 touchdown receptions.
Yep. He's getting in.
You should apologize to him next week.
He's getting in.
I've apologized multiple times on this platform. I feel an apology coming from you.
How many times? I'm just gonna ask a question, okay? And I'll just answer from your heart. How many times has he been the best receiver in the league?
Not once.
Not one time.
Yeah, but that's like saying now, will Phillip Rivers or those type of guys get in? They're not getting in. Eli get in?
They will get in.
Rivers should not get in.
Those guys will get in there.
I know,
But-
Chris. That's not the argument, Chris, that I'm making. I'm
Hey,
making,
Buttons,
should they?
tell
They
me
will.
one. Hey, Buttons, tell me one time when Andre Reed
Thank
was
you,
top
JB.
5.
Thank you, JB.
Number 1, but top 5.
Hey,
Thank you, JB.
I've got news for everybody on this panel and the millions at home. Andre Reed is not a Hall of Famer.
Woo.
It's not.
Woo.
It's not Hall of
Oh,
Fame.
no. He is, but he's not on my list.
Oh,
I got my own list, JB, of Hall of Famers.
goodness.
I don't have Hall of Very Good on this list.
What color jacket?
Start
You're
calling
talking
you
about?
Chris Costanza. You're funny.
I think he is only because of the consistency of getting 1,000 yards every year is an accomplishment. I'm not saying, yeah, he's not ever the best guy, but I think he's a top 10.
Being like 23 or 24 other guys is a great accomplishment. Yep.
Well, no, because that's just one facet of the receiving. If he was 24th or 25th in touchdowns as well, but he's an elite touchdown.
How many times did he lead the league? You want to talk about touchdowns, right? How many times did he
last year?
How many times did he lead the league in touchdowns?
Once.
One time.
But
once.
I don't think he's
you gotta give credit for longevity, man. I mean, like you're saying that's okay. Do the opposite. You're saying that the average for those years was 24 guys had 1,000 yards. How many receivers in the NFL?
No. How many number one receivers? How many number one receivers are in the NFL, JB? Because number one receivers are expected to do production.
True number ones.
He's so productive. He's getting 1,000 yards and he's 7th all time in touchdowns.
23 other guys did it, JB.
Yeah, but if you start to narrow it down and you say, okay, of those 23, now how many of them rank in the top 10 in touchdowns? Right? And if you kept doing that every year, there's probably only 3 or 4 names up in that year every year. And he's right there with those guys. Maybe he's a lower than Calvin Johnson, but his career is longer than Calvin Johnson.
Okay, here's the guy that's coming up for the Hall of Fame. Is Steve Smith Sr. a Hall of Famer? Buttons in your book.
He's got to go through and check it.
I got to look at the numbers.
He's not. Don't quote him yet.
Hang on.
He does have. I think outside of Cooper Kupp and Jamar Chase, Stephen Smith Sr. was the last Triple Crown winner for the wide receiver. Touchdowns, yards, receptions.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy's Hall of Fame is harder to get into.
Steve Smith is. He's close. And here's why, JB. His rookie year, he was a first-team All-Pro. First-team All-Pro. He has 2 first-team All-Pros, 1 second-team All-Pro. That's 2 more first-team All-Pros than Mike Evans. I don't want Robbins in the Hall of Fame, guys. I want Batmans.
What about Devontae Adams? You a Hall of Famer? Devontae Adams, he has 3 first-team All-Pros.
Whoa, JB. 3? It's a lot.
And he has 103 touchdowns.
That's a lock. That's a Hall of Famer right there.
That's a lock.
Lock. You were the best wide receiver in the league 3 times? I'm
looking at some of the other guys who are Hall of Famers. Tim Brown, 0 first teams. Isaac Bruce, 0 first teams. Andre Reed, 0 first teams.
Like I said, JB, check my list. Don't check their list. That is my Buttons 10-minute for this week.
Oh, I got you. Okay. All right. Jerry Rice is an outlier. He is the only one that has double-digit. I mean, he had 10 first-team All-Pros.
Lord.
The next best person is
Randy Moss or T.O.
No, Lance Allworth was 6.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Allworth had 6.
Now that's a Hall of Famer too. because he did it in an era with no passing.
But if you look at the guys Buttons on kind of his contemporaries that are not locks, right? Like Fitzgerald, Calvin Johnson, you're getting into Beckham, DeAndre
Odell
Hopkins,
Beckham, not a Hall of Famer.
AJ Green.
I agree.
Mike Evans. That's the next group of guys, right?
Wait,
Now,
Calvin
outside
Johnson. Are you telling me
No,
Calvin
I'm saying
Johnson?
those are your lock guys. Calvin Johnson.
Calvin Johnson's already in a Hall of Fame.
Jones,
Yeah,
he's already
yeah.
in. But Antonio Brown, if he wasn't wacko, would be in.
He should be in.
Fitzgerald should be in.
Antonio Brown should be in.
He should
Yeah,
be.
so what I'm saying of that next tier down, you're getting into guys like Hopkins, Evans, AJ Green, Odell Beckham. Those are your next group of guys.
You just
He's the
listed a
best
lot
one
of
all
you
those
just
guys.
you just listed a lot of not Hall of Famers.
He's the best one of those guys. So he's the
Is
fringe.
Oh,
Julio
so
a
he's the best of those guys. Great.
What I'm
Is
saying is
Julio a
that
Hall
your
of Famer?
tier then stops at those four guys.
What
Right?
about Julio Jones, Buttons? Two
Basically,
first
he's
team
saying from that whole
All-Pros.
decade, he's only
Julio-
taken.
Only
Julio-
66
He doesn't.
touchdowns.
Julio Jones does not have a lot of touchdowns. I don't know about Julio.
Only 66.
All pro twice.
Yeah.
First team.
I think Julio's probably close to a Hall of Very Good for me, but he's gonna get in, obviously.
So you have three
Chris,
guys.
you can't put everybody in, Chris.
What I'm saying is
this
you
is
only got
not-
them three that played predominantly 2010 guys. You only have three guys that are
All right.
locked.
I tell you what, we're gonna table these conversations for the end right before the season starts when the Hall of Fame
Yeah,
voting
can't wait.
comes
Can't
up.
wait.
It'll be a
I
perfect time.
can't wait for another season that next year Mike Evans is going to break the great Jerry Rice's record because they're going to feed him the ball all year long. And you know what?
gonna
Like,
be
I never
gonna
root
be
for I
With
never
Baker
root for injuries.
Mayfield, he's going to be a third round pick, and it's going to be a value.
Yeah, value, right? Sure. Yeah, value.
Next year, if he doesn't get hurt, he's going to have 1,500 yards, double-digit touchdowns. He'll be a wide receiver one, Buttons. Just chalk it
He's
up.
gonna if he does that, I will do something outlandish on this show. I'm telling you right now.
Hold on. So if Mike Evans goes for
1,500 yards,
for
15.
or 1,500,
You,
and at least 10
JB,
touchdowns.
you name it, and I'll do it. If Mike Evans has 1,500 yards next year, you name it, and I'll do it.
you heard it here first.
Yeah.
The receipts will be kept. All righty. Are we ready for? Are we ready for our second part of the delusional hour here? Oh my God, I love you guys.
The Buttons Hall of Fame.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Buttons Hall of Fame is a different Hall of Fame.
It's short. It's
NFL
short.
Hall of Fame.
It's short and it's sweet, Chris.
Yeah,
That's
the
it.
Buttons Hall of Fame.
It's short and
That's
it's sweet.
that quote is the standard is for
Buttons
for
wants
sure.
to empty the Hall of Fame like Trump wants to shrink the federal government.
Batman,
Just wants to go in there and just
Batman's
shrink it.
Only
Robbins.
Batman. He's
Batman's
got three.
only.
He's only got three wideouts in the whole decade coming out.
You know, there was I think Deion Sanders said that the Hall of Fame was letting in. Somebody said they would let anybody in. It was one of those players said that. It's like, y'all just let anybody in.
Thank you,
They
Dion.
have said that.
Hi, Buttons.
Thank you, Dion.
They do let anybody in for the baseball Hall of Fame. I'll tell you that.
Well, now they have because of all the steroid guys.
That is true.
The steroid guys ruined that part of like they don't have anyone else to put in.
Oh God.
The steroid guys didn't ruin that.
Oh, let's stop.
Baseball ruined that.
Baseball talk is coming. Let's talk. Let's table
Baseball
that.
ruined that.
Well, yeah, I'm pro steroid guys. So
Oh yeah, I'm right there with you, Greg.
get them guys in there.
I mean, you should be because
be
they
in there.
are
They should
doing
be.
drugs before they start testing them.
Should be.
They
They
were
were
doing
doing
more.
it all before.
Listen, here's my argument. If you can put in racist, you can put in somebody taking drugs. Just whatever.
Put him in.
Yeah.
Put him in.
Just put them in. We're
Well,
not talking about.
Joey, I remember you had a book that was the whole thing was on guys taking amphetamines.
Methamphetamines are just as bad. They're worse than the steroids.
Yeah.
They said they were all taking them like they're eating M&Ms.
Yeah.
Word.
The whole league was.
Chris, real quick, let me ask you one thing, and I'm not going to get into a big discussion. But it's for another time. It's a baseball related question. I want your opinion, and then I'll prove you wrong later. Is Nolan Ryan a top 20 pitcher of all time?
Oh man, that's close. Probably. I mean, I'm not massive on longevity. He had a lot of wins, but a lot.
Well, yes, you are, Chris. You're the master of longevity.
No, I'm saying it's a part of it, but I'm saying it's got to be thrown in there. If I'm a longevity guy, LeBron would be above Jordan, and that's no way. So I'm saying I'd have to look at the numbers. We'll get that in the baseball, and I'll break it down and let you know.
Okay, sounds good.
Or you don't want to tell me yet?
Sounds good. No. I know. We had a discussion on another chat one day, and I was just curious to hear your opinion.
How many guys were pro
Nolan Ryan? Yeah.
Ryan.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead, JB, Joey.
Joey's time. I'm looking at Nolan Ryan's stats.
Here we go.
I can see what
All World Series, 8-time All-Star, 2-time ERA title.
Only 2.
I guess it don't mean nothing to Buttons.
Buttons, when you lead the league in strikeouts and you're 40, 41, 42, and 43, you belong in the freaking Hall of Fame.
I didn't say that. I said, see, you need to listen. I said, is he a top 20 pitcher all time?
Yes.
Oh my dear Lord. We need to go to Joey's segment right now.
Yes.
Ooh, and this leads us to the Joey parlays.
Delusional 2.
Oh
I'm
man,
gonna be up all night freaking looking up Nolan Ryan stuff.
Yeah, me too. I might be premature, Buttons. Hold on. Let me.
Yep.
Might be. Let me look at it. Let me analyze it a little bit.
Okay.
Analyze it later. Why? Go ahead and get your thing. I looked it up real quick, the score, and I don't think they have. I looked it up on this thing called a score. They said I looked up the top 20 pitchers of all time. They had Nolan Ryan at 7.
Oh my God. That website needs to be fully discredited immediately.
They had your number 1 was a steroid guy. They had Roger Clemens.
What? All right, that list is already disqualified.
Why is that, Buttons?
Oh my goodness, dude. Let me run.
Why is that, Buttons?
Buttons, look, I put in the chat. Buttons, I put it in the chat for you, so you can peep it yourself.
See, I have all pitchers ranked 1 through whatever on my list right here.
You got too much time on your hands, Buttons. Calm down. You got too much time on your hands. Calm down, man.
Yeah, I think they've misspelled Walter Johnson in that article.
Yeah.
How you feel about Greg Maddux number 3?
Fine with that. That's good.
I don't have any.
Actually, JB.
They have Walter Johnson as number 6.
Greg Maddux is number 3 on my list, JB.
What about Cy Young?
Cy Young on my list?
Yeah.
Number 2.
Okay. What about Bob Gibson?
Absolutely.
Gibson. He's number 10.
What about Clayton Kershaw? Not in your top 20.
17.
Oh, okay.
Better than Nolan Ryan. Book it.
John Smoltz.
He's not on the top 25.
No, they got him at 19 on this list.
Oh my dear Lord.
That's some of the ones you have, Buttons.
Okay.
That's some of them. So
all right.
They're not, they got Gibson at 12. About Sandy Koufax.
Gibson is very underrated, by the way. He changed the game. I mean, they changed the mound for that guy.
Yes,
Like
they did.
incredible player.
All right. I gotta get more into my
You do have to question any list that doesn't have Satchel Paige on it. Question
yeah,
that.
Satchel
Yeah.
Paige is on my list.
yeah.
You're questioning
No
a list that
question.
does not have Satchel Paige on it.
Don't question Buttons list.
Right here, Joey Page. But
Well,
I
I'm
got
looking
you.
up right now Roy Halladay. I was wanting to see, like, okay, he's a really, really good pitcher. He had 4 years of +8 or more WAR, or plus
Goodness.
7.5 more or more WAR. Nolan Ryan never had one of those.
weird.
So
Got a point, Buttons.
to me, if longevity is all he has, then that probably wouldn't be enough for me.
Look it up.
So you will be tired tomorrow
I
at
know
work.
I know I am.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead,
be
Joey.
over my bed.
I apologize. Go ahead.
It's all good, Buttons. This was right. We had to go through that.
You're gonna have enough. You gonna go to work tomorrow. Think about this. When you go to work tomorrow, go to your YouTube, replay it, and get a couple of good laughs in. You'll have enough energy to make it.
He'll revisit the discussion and start looking up stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, this list does not have Satchel Paige on it.
Gotta
It
go.
does have a guy.
It's the
it
top
does.
25, JB.
It's gotta
I
go.
looked at it. I looked at the top. I went through. I put the link in there for you to look at it.
Page is on my top 25. I'm not sure he's a top 20 guy to me, but he's on my top 25. For
Nah,
sure.
they don't have him in the top 40. They don't. I don't think they have any
Wow.
of
What?
any of the pitchers from the Negro leagues. I don't think
that's crazy to me. That's
Cut
crazy.
it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, it's probably some other sites out there. I don't know. I gotta look and see when this one was published, but oh yeah, that's from 7 years ago. So
Oh yeah, cut it.
full list.
Cut it.
You got Baseball Egg. Baseball Egg has your boy Walter Johnson as number 1.
Yeah, I would think he would be up there for sure.
But I don't think this one has any of the Negro League pitchers. They both had Fergie Jenkins as 21 though. The best Canadian pitcher, it said. Oh, this one has Satchel Paige at 27. So maybe this one's a little bit better.
Okay.
All right.
So I threw it in there. Baseball Egg, top 100 pitchers of all time.
Mhm.
All right. There you go.
Lock. Two-legger.
The
The
lock.
lock is a two-legger.
Oh, 2. Okay.
Two-legger. And it's all about that money line.
Oh.
Buttons, you are not going to like this.
Oh no.
So you're probably not going to play this.
I will play it reluctantly, but I will play it.
Here we go.
Tell you the funny part about whenever you give your money lines and your parlays,
You don't play.
Chris does not even pay attention to this.
I always listen.
Like,
I will,
whatever they're doing, they ain't doing it.
I will accept
My
that.
bets are already.
Well, I don't play any parlays. I don't play any.
Chris doesn't
I
like
lose-
parlays.
I always lose money.
Parlays are for suckers.
You missing out, my brother.
I just can't find an edge. I think they're good. If you're good at it, then I've tried a ton and just always just lose money. So whatever edge, I just feel like I'm throwing money away. I just never been able to hit them. I mean, I wish I could because
you ain't about to. You like they ain't throwing no money away. Got it.
I'd rather not just throw money away for no reason. If I'm,
Feel you.
I think I've maybe hit 3 in my life
Mhm.
ever.
I've hit a few.
You've hit way more than that. I mean,
You'd have more if you play some of mine, Chris.
true. I wonder what the ROI is though on it.
Did you Chris, when I sent you your raffle tickets, you read the back of them?
Where it said SM, what is it?
SMDMM.
Yeah,
Don't make money.
yeah, I saw that on there. Well, because I think I just saw one, and it said, "Is that when it says SM?" And then I was like, "What is this?"
I I put yours so they do side by side.
Yeah. So then when I saw the other one,
You got two, so I made sure you put them together and said it.
yeah, just when you put them together, they just become
SMDMM. All about it. Here we go.
All right, Mr. Moneyline.
We're going to start off in Houston on Saturday, 4:31 kickoff. Texans, money line.
Oh my goodness.
Then we're going to go down to Central Florida.
Huh?
Kickoff, 8:01 Sunday nights.
Oh no.
Commanders, money line, plus 447. Oh, this is going to hit.
Oh.
This is going
So
to
you
hit.
took two underdogs on
Two
the money.
dogs. Straight up, JB.
Bought them dogs, huh? You bought them
Straight
dogs.
Up.
They're eating glizzies.
Yes, they are. Straight up. Travis
Okay.
Scott.
Okay. Straight up.
All right.
All right. What's the big boy? Because the lock is 447. What's the big boy?
The big boy is all about men's college basketball. It's plus 1753.
All right.
Hmm.
Are we not? Hopefully we're not messing with the daggone Metro Atlantic.
Oh no.
Please tell me we ain't doing Siennas and we ain't doing those.
I don't think we are.
Okay. I remember last year you had that 15-legger that came up like
What?
one short on college basketball.
It's right there, JB.
Hmm.
This is all money line except one because I had to sprinkle a little something in there.
Thursday or Friday?
This is all This is Thursday.
Okay.
This is all Thursday. The Texas State Fighting Jasmines at Troy. Troy, money line. Drexel at Stony Brook. Drexel, money line. Louisiana Tech is hosting FIU. Uh-oh. No, that's not it. Louisiana Tech, money line.
Louisiana Tech.
Kennesaw State is at Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee, money line. Grand Canyon is at Utah Valley. Grand Canyon, money line.
I like that one.
Jacksonville State is at Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky, money line. Northern Arizona is at Montana. Montana, money line. Cal State Fullerton is at UC Davis. UC Davis, money line. Portland is going to Bill Russell's San Francisco.
Dons.
The Dons, minus 20.5.
Oh no.
What?
Oh no. No.
Minus 20.5.
What is going on?
The Dons minus 20.5.
Minus 20.5.
Yeah,
I like the
man.
Dons to cover.
Minus 20.5.
1753.
Guy's insane.
The Dons will cover, JB.
All right, to review the lock. We got the glizzy lock of the week.
Lizzie,
Texans, Commanders. Money
straight
line.
up. Straight up.
447. I will be hedging that. All right. I will be betting the other way around.
I know you do.
Not always. The big boy. We got mostly money line college basketball all Thursday, right? Tomorrow night.
All Thursday.
Any early games? Any games gonna get us overdone by like noon?
These are the first one. No, these are all,
so
these are all night games.
We got Troy money line. We got Drexel money line. We got Louisiana Tech money line. We got Middle Tennessee State University money line. We got Grand Canyon money line. Western Kentucky money line. Montana money line. University of California Davis money line. And the late night hammer, We got the San Francisco Dons
The Dons.
minus 20.5.
against the Portland
Is it
Pirates.
Portland's horrible though.
They are horrible.
Awful.
They lost the last 4 and they have gotten whooped.
And San Francisco is always really good.
The Dons.
They're
That's the
always
old
like
Bill Russell coming to town.
That's right.
Let me see, who has San Francisco lost to?
They just lost to Washington State. It was
They lost to Memphis, Clemson, Bradley, and Washington State.
all right. That is a wrap, fellas. I will be sending you the information for you to give me your players for the playoff challenge. And I didn't want to bring this up. I'm gonna bring it up real quick. If y'all were interested in doing fantasy golf. Now I let y'all think about it. Not
Is it one where I did one before where it's almost like our fantasy because the one I've done where it was like you only get to use a person. One of them was like our fantasy where you only got to use that person one time a year, and then there's other ones that are like a best ball thing. There's all different ones.
I'm gonna, if you guys do some research and I'll do some research, and then the next time we'll meet, we'll figure out which one we'll play to play up for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I mean, because I think I'd have to look at like what's the most competitive. Because the thing is if there's only 4 of us doing it, there may be, then we're always just picking all the studs. I think what they probably want, that's why they may only get to use.
Is there another format or another league
I'll
out
look.
there somewhere where we can like actually draft
Yeah.
players?
Mm-hmm.
That would be ideal, honestly, JB.
Yeah.
But I think that, remember we used to do a couple years ago, we used to do the FanDuel, the DFS ones where it was salaried out.
Yeah.
It was like a salary, and each week you'd have the tournament. You could make it with just the 4 of us.
We can do that, but we just got to keep up with it, though. That's the thing, right?
I mean, we usually did the majors, but I think on there, because then that way you're actually balancing out salaries more. You're balancing so you can't just use all 4 studs every week or whatever it would be.
Yeah.
So then you'd have to actually make a decisions on who you really want to invest in.
Yeah,
one of us gets just one guy like a draft, Chris.
Double,
you could do it that way.
Rodney probably won't do it, but I'll ask C Double too. But his problem is he can't even set his freaking lineup. Yes, C Double, I'm talking to you. You can't even set your line. You got Victor Wembanyama and all these good players, but you can't set your lineup, and you're 12th in the league right now with Victor Wembanyama on your squad, and you're in last place, basically.
You're right, Jay.
Shame on you, brother.
I wonder if Yahoo has something, Chris, where we can draft a player, and then he's ours the whole year.
Yeah.
Love Yahoo.
I don't know for sure. I honestly do not know if there's a format out there where we can all draft just one player or have like a 5-player roster or whatever. But similar to like when we take the NFL teams and when we take like other things.
Yeah, I'll look into it and see. Because normally golf starts, what is it, Super Bowl weekend normally?
Golf started. They had their first tournament. They actually had their first tournament like last week.
Okay. I think golf is tough because not everybody plays.
Yeah.
So that's why it would be good when you're only using a guy
that's actually playing.
Because then you're only picking that one guy that week, and you only get him once the whole year. So then you're never
difficult. Yeah.
It looks like Yahoo is not doing fantasy golf.
Okay. All right.
I'm looking at their fantasy games right now. But y'all can look into it. I'll look into it as well. And we'll come up with something for next week. Until then, y'all have enjoy watching the games this weekend, and enjoy yourselves and relax. And Chris, it's supposed to snow again on Saturday. You probably gonna be on the road again.
I'm hoping not. I mean, we're over after that storm. I mean, if it snows an inch or two is like nothing. But like, I think we worked what did we work, Joey, in a 28-hour period? I think we worked like 20 hours, I think, in a 28-hour period or
Wow.
something.
Piece of cake.
So yeah, we were. I think I got 2 hours of sleep in like 50 something hours.
Dang.
So I'm still feeling like not normal.
I think I found it already. There's a welcome to PGA Tour Fantasy Golf. And I think you pick guys for every tournament. But I will I'm gonna set up an account and see how it works and send it to y'all this
Yeah,
weekend.
just look at like it should have like the scoring and the rules and all that. Just look at it like
Mhm.
golf is just tougher because it's like, only certain guys are playing in certain tournaments. So it's tougher. It's tougher to do in every probably a season long only because you could do the whole thing, but it's tougher to probably just have like 5 guys because you get screwed if you just didn't have those guys in your tournament as
That's
often.
true.
Whereas like in football or the other ones, they're basically the same guys all the time.
Hmm.
Golf
And the
is
good
like
news is I already got an account. I think you guys have one too, because we did this. And let's see. And yeah, because we did one with the CJ Square Fantasy Golf before, but I can create a new league and go from there. So I'm gonna look at the rules first, and then I'll send y'all the information.
Sound good.
I'm
Sounds
gonna
good.
create a new league
yeah.
and call it CJ Squared Fantasy Golf 2025.
Awesome.
Sounds good?
Sounds good.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I meant to I almost forgot to bring it up to you guys. Anyway, Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New
I'm
Year.
gonna see
Happy
y'all
New-
for the new
Yep.
year. All right, y'all take care, man. Joey, make
All right,
it work
guys.
tomorrow.
We're gonna make it work.
Call somebody, give me a call.